That's Blur, song 2. Giving you a lot of reasons, kid, not just to stop at song 1. Maybe the next one's even better. It's the Bennington Show. I'm Ron Bennington. There's Gail Bennington.
Yo.
And I'm Ron Bennington. You know that song you love, right?
I do.
Chris, you love?
Hell yeah.
I'm not even going to ask Vito. There's no sense in it because it's not Springsteen. But would that song work without the silly woo-hoo-hoo?
No.
That makes the song.
Well, it's not really in the lyrics.
Yeah, no. It's not about the lyrics.
It's not about your head checked by a jumbo jet. It's about the woohoo.
So his head didn't get shaved?
No, his head got checked, I believe, by a
shaved.
Well, it makes sense because it doesn't rhyme.
Oh, yeah.
I got my head checked.
I never, and that, the riff is, very Nirvana, so it's got that thing. But it wouldn't work without the hoo-hoo.
No, the hoo-hoo is the whole thing.
And it's a bug planet.
Goddamn bugs got us, Johnny.
Never forget that was the trailer for the most ridiculous sci-fi movie of all time.
And it got butts in the seat. Like, I saw that trailer and I was like, that woohoo song? I'm in.
You know what always bothered me? So the song, it's Starship Troopers, right?
Yes.
That's a Yes song. At some point, you think they would have put it in. Now, it doesn't. I mean, it's not a rockin' song that makes you feel like you're shooting. But they stole the fucking title, I believe.
So it's like a slower song?
Yeah.
Because that could work well in a big, dramatic scene where, people are getting killed.
Yeah.
Bugs, maybe they could have used it.
But, Starship Troopers is also another song that you really don't know the lyrics, even though you're singing along with it. Like a lot of Yes songs, they're just so fucking ridiculous. I don't know what you're going to do about it. Coming up a little later on in the program today, we'll talk about the big debate last night. And we have a guest stopping by, right?
Yeah, Mr. Roy Albanese, comedian and former executive producer of The Daily Show and Nightly Show.
So that might be fun to save the Trump talk for him. We got off Trump talk about, 6-7 months ago because it felt like it did it all.
Well, the thing is, we went real hard in the beginning. We were very excited. We were singing the songs.
Gail, I hate to interrupt you. We've got a major guest stopping by.
What?
She hung out to talk to us. We saw her in the hall yesterday. She stopped by and saw her pal Jimmy Norton today. It's Pamela Adlon.
I mean...
This is your song. This is your theme song to your show.
I know.
How did that happen?
Because I am a visionary. Because I have the greatest network in the world, and I wrote like a Jerry Maguire kind of mission statement about money for music and the need for music in my show. And that this song was so crucial to me that it was part of the fabric of my show. Like, I just, I got married to it immediately. I had a whole bunch of songs in my bin, and Louis edited my pilot. And so this was what we put as the title theme, and originally it was like Over Black, and we played the whole song and we just porned out. We were just like, oh my God, this is the greatest. Like, my show would have been like 50 minutes long. I was like, no, don't cut it there. Just play the next verse. Play the hook. But I can't believe I got it.
It's a John Lennon song. You never
I got a John Lennon Plastic Ono Band song.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable.
Does that have to go through Yoko?
I wrote Yoko a very long personal letter, telling her what she means to me and my daughters, and what this song means to my life. I discovered this song late in my life. I was already a single mom of 3 girls. I'd never heard this song. I have this theory that you could hear a new Beatles song every day for the rest of your life and go, wait, this song exists? So when I heard that song, it cut deep. And it's such a raw song. Yeah. The way he screams, like, people don't even know. So I wrote to her about what the song meant and how I wanted to introduce people to this song, and that that I took my daughters to see Plastic Ono Band. I think she was in LA in 2012 at the Orpheum, and everybody was like shifting uncomfortably around because she was playing her films from the 60s or 70s.
Yeah.
And it's just like a tit. I don't know if it's her tits. And there's like hair on the nipples and there's a fly buzzing around the tit.
Yeah.
And people were looking at me like side eye mad because my daughters were there. And I was like, suck my dick. I brought my that's a tit.
Yeah.
What am I doing wrong? And everybody's like so uncomfortable. But anyway, she's such a badass too, because she was on stage with the RZA playing chess at the beginning of that show for about 20 minutes. And they're full on playing quiet chess. Yoko Ono and the RZA. And everybody's like kind of like, ooh. And even if they like moved around, like the audience would titter like, well, they're going to entertain us somehow, aren't they? But, she's just such a visionary, you know what I mean? Letting people feel things, uncomfortable things. So I don't actually know if she ever read my letter, but I very lovingly crafted this letter for her, and I made a video package with the episode that's coming this Thursday and some cold opens. And I was like, I hope she likes me plunging the toilet. Looks like I'm doing it. And
She would love. She would love.
I know she would love it.
Yeah. So you've never met her?
No.
We gotta hook it up. I've had her on the show before, man.
Have you?
Yeah, she's everything you want her to be. Like in real time.
I would die. Because I follow her and Sean on Twitter, and I've never met them, and I know they would dig the show, and where I placed the song is like,
I'm obsessed with her Twitter. I read her Twitter like people check their zodiac.
Me
in the morning.
too. It's like Mama said a nice thing today. I know.
But even like, what you're saying with that stuff where her and John put up War is Over, like just like during a war, you know what I mean? Like just billboards went up all over New York and people would stop and go, wait, is it? You know what I mean? It was like crazy.
Absolutely. I mean, just, that it's that thing that, that I live for, that has become my brand, is just, you're feeling a feeling, and it's not controlled, it's not controlled, and it hasn't been decided the way that you're going to feel. You're going to decide the way you feel.
Yeah. That's, and the fact that the mother doesn't get the respect from the people that she loves the most is life. But to me, the last episode, the funniest thing I ever saw was like, put some pants on. Why are you saying, you know what I mean? And that has happened. That has happened to everybody.
Oh, it's a nightmare. I mean, you guys, you people, I have a no G-string policy in my house. And, my daughters will say, it's my house, Mom. And it's like, I just don't want to see that. It's just put on a full pair of fucking underwear, but I don't want to see that. So I have a no G-string policy. It's really super annoying.
So are you loving the show? Is it where you want it to be? Is it, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's like, I could cry.
Yeah.
It's an amazing feeling. Right now, I'm working with a theater company directing these short plays. So I'm just back to a new kind of square one. We're rehearsing in a basement in Midtown every day until nighttime. It's like the unsexiest thing in the world. And it's just the greatest feeling that I'm able to like kind of guide these young actors with these new skills that I've built. And, I'm sitting there in the basement last night looking at these actors, and we're all talking, and I'm thinking, what's the next episode that's coming? And I start getting excited, and I'm like, oh my God, it's Woman is the Something of the Something. Mm-hmm. Oh my God, Duke's Chorus is coming. Oh my God. And it's just like all these little vignettes, these capsules that that are loaded and just that can be seen. It's an incredible feeling to have done this and to be excited about the way it turned out.
Sure.
And the fact that it's touching such a nerve that people are shaking me and going, you don't understand what this means to me.
Yeah.
And that men are having as strong a reaction as women are, because I really wanted it to be a show that was just user friendly for everybody. It was massively important to me because I straddled the line between a male and a female world. In my head, that's where I feel comfortable. And so to get the responses I've gotten from the men means so much to me, you know, and of course the women, but you know, it's not just the vagina show. It is a people show.
Well, we all like called each other right after watching the first show. And
Immediately.
We were like,
You did?
Yeah, we did, man.
right
We all
away.
freaked out. And it's really, really strong, but it stays funny. And then there's stuff like, you know, you throw Duchovny in there. And I just, you know, I was a big Californication fan.
I couldn't believe he did it.
Yeah.
You know, because he's like randomly in Los Angeles.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so I was like, are you going to be here? Because I need somebody to play a douchebag actor named David Duchovny.
Yeah.
and he was like, yeah, sure. I'll, you know, if I'm there. And then I was like, oh God, can I really do this to David Duchovny and Lenny Kravitz? I brought Lenny Kravitz to Altadena, California, the fucking unsexiest place in the world. Freezing and hailing, and he's like on a raw diet, and we're like outside at night, and it's just
he crushed it though. Gail and I were talking about this just last week. We're like, because she loves him, and I'm like, this is the first time that he hasn't sold his sexuality, and that scene was maybe the most sexual thing he did. When you guys not touching.
Air high five, Daddy. I love that.
Yeah,
it's true because. Honestly, I was really gunning for Lenny, and Louis was like, he's a rock star. This guy is not a rock star. And I'm like, I see it. I think he's got it in him. And so I hadn't talked to Lenny in 30 years. We grew up together.
Is that right?
Yeah. And so it was really like immediate connection again, because we used to hang hard. We were bros. And so I said to him, he's a nerd. He's not Lenny Kravitz. He's like Woody Allen. He's like a Hudlin brother. He's like, you know, he's a very, literary, he's a studied, man who loves film or whatever, but he's not you. And Lenny was so down. He was like, I could wear glasses. I was like, yeah, glasses would be awesome. Fucking glasses. Oh, yeah. And so, you know, and then he just brought this sweetness. And then he and I just, we laugh about the same things. So just, you know, chemically, it was just there. And to be able to tell a story about two people having kinetic energy and not acting on it was so interesting to me and Louis. I mean, Louis wrote this script. It is such a beautiful story. It's definitely the most linear story of the whole season. And he killed it. He totally killed it. And then, and David, with whatever 30 seconds he did, everybody's talking about how hilarious.
Yeah, because he, you know, because Larry Sanders is where he first played against type and stuff. And then, of course, he's really a TV star, a movie star. And then he came back and did that thing again. But even leading up to that, where it's like, and we all know what this is like, it was like, I love your work. I love your work. And here we are stuck in this other fucking thing.
Yeah.
Because this guy is popular, you know? So we're doing it. We can't sit around and act like we're better than it. We're doing it.
And you know, it's so interesting to me when people pick something out of the show, because all we did was mention it casually in a scene, as opposed to like in a big, like networky, focus group format show, how you have to point it out. And, you know, they would have him drive up in, you know, a Porsche and come out and show all kinds of douchey behavior. And so that we would have to be like, oh boy, you know, this is so, but we were able to do it in this casual way, and you get it.
Right.
Yeah. You totally got it.
Yeah, you got to trust the audience a little bit.
That's right.
But I think we're, you know, particularly with TV at that point now, you know what I mean? Where people do say, I'm going to invest in something. It's my time now.
That's right.
I'm not sitting here stupidly looking at a TV anymore.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
So this is like surprising to be at this point of your career and be doing like the best thing that you've ever done, you know?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Thank God it's now. And not when I was like 15.
Yeah.
That would suck. Balls.
Well, that's the hardest thing in the world, right? Like that.
That's your dad.
Difficult.
Oh my God, Dad.
From what I hear, not for her. It's in the family.
Not for you. Oh, I love that.
But when you want something so bad when you're young and that you and then you have to wait.
Have your dad go, from what I hear, not for her. You got a taste for it. That's amazing. I'm sorry. Go ahead, honey.
No, it's like when you want something so badly and you're gunning for things when you're young and you're not at that place yet. Like
Yeah.
it's a very lucky thing to be ready for the thing as you get it.
That's right. Well, this was the time. You
Yeah.
know, this was the time. You know, I was talking to Jimmy before, and we did Lucky Louie together, and it wasn't the time. I knew it was fucking great. I knew it was special and awesome, and we all felt it when we made that. It wasn't the time. And this is the time. And I'm telling you, if I had tried to make this show a year ago, it wouldn't have been okay. If I tried to do it in a year from now, it would have been over. I don't know why this is the particular window. And it's, you know, from the inception, you know, Louis having a conversation with John Landgraf, the president of FX, about me having a show and me saying, there is no way I can take something like that on, with raising my daughters, still working on Californication, working on Louis. I could not conceive of that. I have this thing in my life where I, because of being with my girls and the challenges that I face every day, I don't take on more than I can handle. I just don't. There's just no reason for it. At a certain point, you have to say no. You have to say no to things you really may want to do so you could pioneer your own future. So that's what happened with each step.
And motherhood is different than fatherhood, because men will just go, I'm doing this thing. It's for my kids. I'm going to see them in 3 months and it'll be great.
It's really true, because I was talking to my friend about this. The fathers make a choice and they take the choice away from the mothers, because somebody has to be there raising the kids. So if a father splits and he's gone, there's no choice for the mother, unless you want these kids to be orphans or whatever, you know. It's just, you know, I don't say that, you know, I'm not anti-father. I'm anti-non-working father.
Right. Once you're into that, and that is
that's
like,
not so much for me, like balls for your daughter.
Yeah. But the weird thing is like, it doesn't, and I'm saying this as a man, it doesn't completely occur to us, everything that goes into raising kids. You know what I mean? Like, I could never take any credit at all, because I would come around, I would be fun, or, you know, sulky, whatever I was.
Yeah.
But I don't think that I was giving. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think it's naturally in me.
I remember my dad picking me up from camp in Connecticut when I was 10. And we were going to spend a day in the city, you know, and it was just him and me. And he said, well, we got some time together. And it was so fucking awkward.
Right.
And there I was with my dad.
Yeah.
And it was right before we got into the years of tangling assholes until I moved out of my house.
Yeah.
I mean, it was years of that. But, you know, it wasn't a normal occurrence for me to spend time with my father.
All my memories of my dad are vacations. Like when we went on vacation, he was like really there and really fun. It was, you know, it was a fishing vacation in Canada. It was his vacation. We tagged along, but I'm like, this, you know, and then after that, he would be, you know, the rest of it, he's like, he's coming home from work stressed. He's on the phone. And my mom's always like, hey man, he's really busy.
Oh my God.
He's really going through some stuff right now.
You know what? That's amazing because, is this the cough button?
Yeah.
Excuse me. We used to have, you know, my dad was a sweetheart, very volatile. So my mother and brother would say to me, when your father gets home, my mother would say, when your father gets home, don't take the bait. Don't take the bait. Because he would, you know, start up a gnarly thing. And my brother wouldn't fight with my dad the way I would. I don't remember a meal that somebody didn't throw a fucking dish towel, storm away from the table, fuck this, all of that. Until I moved out of my house, I did not have any kind of healthy relationship with my father. I left my house, and my father and I we started working together.
Yeah.
We started writing together. We started, you know, talking things through. We started doing projects, and we laughed.
Yeah. That's what happens a lot of times.
Yeah,
too.
I think that there's something about men that for some reason it's easier for them to connect with their adult children.
Love it.
Because then they're like,
the amount of people that we hear from, right? Fathers that are like, this is so great because I'm so worried that my kids are going to hate me one day, you know? So that is like almost the fear of men that the kids will just go away at a certain age.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I feel like they just, I mean, when they come back, it's a revelation.
Yeah.
It's just too much for a lot of men to be so involved in all the machinations and the moods of childhood.
Sure.
Yeah.
And even when, you know, adult children get moody. The guy, I just shut down. I'm like, I don't know. I don't know, dude.
Yeah, fishing trip, Canada.
Yeah, let's go to Canada. All right. I know you got to go, but we love you, and we're so happy and proud of you guys of this show. It's fantastic. And if you ever, let's see if we can get you together with Yoko one time. I'd love to do that.
God. So cool.
All right.
Tell her, somebody make Yoko and Sean watch my show.
Yeah.
Please.
Better Things airs Thursdays, 10 p.m. on FX. Pamela Adlon. Thank you so much, darling.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Okay, so she loves us back. That's all we've ever wanted.
That's all that's important to me.
She is everything that we wanted her to be.
She's, exactly how you hoped she would be. Everything that's great about her on the show. And
what is that life essence?
I don't know. She's just she's very fiery, and she's magnetic. She's great.
Sexy. Crazy sexy. Just in her knockaround clothes is so crazy sexy. And she's fun, and she just yells stuff out. And I wish we had this on the air. She's freaked out that Vito and Chris look alike. And she's just, while we were playing that song, she's just screaming, Do you guys see this?
Do you guys see how weird this is? Like, are you guys getting this? How weird this is?
Is it that weird?
I mean, I guess if you're not used to seeing it every day, it looks like two twinsies, one's trapped behind the glass, like a mirror image of you.
You know what it is? Like, you know how one of the twins isn't well? And you got to keep them in the incubator for a while?
Aww. It's a little sickly twin.
Yeah, we're not going to tell the healthy twin, but we love the sickly twin more.
And like, you're like wearing light colors and he's in dark. It's like you're a little like opposite today, so it's very weird.
Dude, we got to try to hook up the Yoko thing with her.
Yeah. And I want, Like, I want to have Yoko in. I was not here when you had her in, so.
Well, you made a huge mistake then.
Yeah, well, I mean.
Isn't it weird that you're like a crazy Yoko person and then she loves Yoko? And I was like saying that was one of the albums that I took from my brother when I was a little kid. So I was more into John Lennon and the Plastic Ono Band than, any of the other stuff because I had it.
I thought it was so weird that she not only brought up Yoko and we were talking about Yoko, but that she brought up her Twitter because this morning I was just like having like a little bit of like a little black rain cloud morning and I was feeling like really blue and then opened my Twitter and saw like this Yoko line where she's like, try to find yourself. That's a start. And I'm just like, thank you, Yoko. You're so wise, Yoko, when you speak to me through Twitter.
You know it's funny too, when I had Yoko in, she won't say bad stuff even about the enemy. You know what I mean? Like she's on, she's trying to find, when you consider all the shit people have thrown at her over the years. Yeah. And like that thing of, okay, they were playing chess and being able to get it rather than being appalled. Just be open to some fucking weirdness,
just do
man.
some weird shit. She's a fucking weirdo and it's great.
Oh, and by the way, John Lennon loved her. Loved.
Obsessed.
Crazy.
Like,
yes.
At the point of worship.
Yeah, like a child with her.
Yeah.
So something's there, dude. Don't sit around and act like she broke up the Beatles.
It really bothers me.
She's what broke up the Beatles.
Somebody told me that, so that's why I said it. It really, it's like one of those things, like when I hear somebody talk some shit on Yoko, it's not like I'm like a psychopath. I'm going to be like, I'll never speak to that person again. But then you're just like, I'm going to keep that. I'm going to keep that and remember that about you.
Okay, that's scary. That's scary because
I'm going to hurt you later.
I'll say that's really scary.
I'm going to show up in your room.
There she goes with her little glasses on, her little, I don't know whether it's like a softball shirt or a soccer shirt.
It's like a soccer shirt. She was like, it almost looked like a kid's soccer shirt. It was so great.
Great. She's just great. And that show's so fucking great.
Yeah. That's always a very exciting thing when that happens where you're like, first episode, because I'm very, it's difficult for me to jump into a first episode and get all the backstory. And then you're going, that was like a little saccharine for right off the bat, or that was a little bit too silly. And then it takes me a while to get into it. This was a show where episode 1, I was like, this is going to be a really good show. And
I love that she said people come up and shake her on the street and she gets it. A lot of people don't get. You know what I mean? Because you get stuck in TV world, you know what I mean? Where you're just reading numbers or whatever.
Or even if that affects you in a positive way, it's not easy to admit that it affects you.
Right.
Right? Like you might have to be like, oh, whatever. Like, you play it off like it's not a big deal, but inside you're kind of dying and being like, man, I'm really excited about what I'm working on. But I think it's so great that she's able to access that. You know, she's able to just throw it out there.
Yeah, I don't know too many people who like it for the right reasons. You know what I mean? Like, oh, I tried to say something and people got me. No, they're more like, oh, I tried to say something and not enough people got me. You know what I mean? That happens all the time. Like, I like this show, but, or you get in that thing where you're just caring about, we're the number one show on Tuesday night, and you're like, who gives a fuck? You know how many shitty shows have been the number one show on Tuesday nights? And I don't know who is the number one show on Tuesday nights or if they feel bad right now. I don't.
I mean, it's not your fault. You're the number one show on Tuesday nights.
Okay, there's a perfect example. They're not getting around going, people are getting what we're trying to do.
They're not being shaken on the street.
No. I adore her. At Pamela Adlon. At Pamela Adlon. I don't know if she ever checks, though. I don't know. I didn't even think of this. That's Bobby Hill. She's Bobby Hill.
Yeah.
And the Dexter's Laboratory thing, which you love so much when you were a kid.
Bobby Hill's, like, I was obsessed with that voice. It's so funny.
She was on The Facts of Life in 83. I remember she was, what the fuck? Oh, Grease 2. She was like a little kid in Grease 2. Yeah.
Shit.
She has like one line, like she always wants to be with the older kids.
Stop it! That's
her. I'm 90% sure that's her.
With the skateboard, like the kid who follows everyone around.
Yeah, I think that's her.
Get out of here.
All right, Chris is looking it up. Vito's sitting and just...
Yeah, that's her in Greece, too, with the skateboard, yeah.
Are you serious? That's
it's
really
her.
her?
It's Pamela Adlon.
And she was adorable as a little kid.
That's so crazy.
Hey, how much did you love that she was like, yeah, me and Lenny Kravitz grew up together. We were tight.
We were bros. It's fucking awesome.
Cool.
I'm never going to stop thinking about this, is that she's saying that she's always had one foot in the male world and one in the female world. You know what I mean? It's like a strange thing for someone to say. And it's like...
Yeah, people who are able to just kind of embrace both their masculine and feminine energy.
But that's what I always talked about with rock stars. All the best rock stars have both.
Have the duality.
Yeah. Because you even look at, like, I mean, immediately you would go like to a Bowie or even Mick Jagger. But if you go to Chrissy Hynde, Patti Smith, Janis Joplin, I mean, if you just think about it, Elvis had so much woman in that face of his.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He was very feminine, and his the way he carried himself was very feminine.
Well, then he talks like this, man.
Yeah, that was his masculine part.
He's like, look, everybody, I'm a real sexy girl. Crazy. Watch me shake my hips. It was not that's not a guy thing. I'm going to shake my hips for everybody right now. Look at this. My hips are shaking. Isn't that weird? Like a girl, right? I wish you would have just said that. I'm going to dance like a girl for everybody. Instead of just getting his bodyguards to fucking fall down when he punched them. That was his big thing. I'm going to do karate against Red. Red's like, okay, fuck it. Go ahead, throw me. Flip me. You're flipping me, Elvis. And all of his friends were like, you flipped him, Elvis. You flipped him real good. That's right, man. Watch it, Red. That was really, really cool.
Yeah, it was very cool. And she's had such a cool career, and then to have this great show. Like, even like you were saying, like her voiceover work, like, I love that shit so much.
Yeah.
And then to have just like this fantastic show.
Well, I mean, and this isn't like the first fantastic show she's been on.
No.
This is just her fantastic show.
Yeah.
Like, I loved her on Californication. And if you go back, the Unmasked I did with Louis, which was right after, and I talked about this not too long ago, Lucky Louie getting canceled. And Louis already being like, yeah, okay, we got some other stuff I'm going to be doing. And we're like, oh, yeah, are you? I don't know. I don't know. It doesn't always work out that way.
We'll see.
Yeah, but he was like, but I said to him, like, fucking so cool you got Pamela Adlon. Like, it's literally in the show where that's like my number one compliment. Like, hey, how'd you pull that off? But there was weird, like, after talking to him that day, I knew like something was going to happen with him. There was just something about his attitude that was as positive as you could get with your dream show just being canceled, which you and everyone liking it. You know what I mean? Like, we didn't sit around and we're going, oh, like, that's too bad you're in a shitty show. Like, sometimes it happens. Mm-hmm. People they get shows and you're like, it just didn't work,
Yeah.
But this show Lucky Louie felt like, okay, we did the weird first season. This is really going to grow. I was shocked when they canceled it.
Yeah, it was really sad.
But it did turn out to be the best thing of his career.
Yeah. I mean, obviously Louis would not exist without that. And the things that he was able to do through that show, like the way he was able to control that show, I think changed his career. Like him having that control.
Well, I guess. I mean, I don't know. It's probably 15 things that take place for that. But when we were just sitting around, last year talking about Horace and Pete, like how did he pull that off? And, we got Paul Simon to do the theme song, which seemed crazy at the time. So yeah, because that show got canceled, he got to do all these other things. We're talking about how cool fucking Baskets is.
Yeah.
What he's able to do, Louis Anderson, pulling Louis into that role. Very, very, very heady stuff. And I keep waiting for it to, I worried about this show, Better Things, before the pilot, because I'm like, how how many fucking home runs you're going to hit in a row.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Oh, hit another one. It's a great show. Anyway, that was really cool. First of all, it was cool enough just seeing her walk down the hall.
I know,
yesterday.
yeah.
But then when she's screaming, "I love you guys," I'm like, yes, that's what we needed back.
Now just say that like Bobby Hill.
We send
it's your favorite comedy bit.
Oh, that's good. That's a good Bobby Hill. Chris, why don't you do your Bobby Hill?
Hey, I'm Bobby Hill.
Oh, that's good.
That's really.
When you said it, I didn't like it too much until you said his name, and then I pictured. I'm like, yeah.
Hey, I'm Bobby Hill. Hey, Hank.
You're in your second Weird Dad shirt in a row. I don't even know where you get these.
This is really deep in the rotation.
I mean, it's really strange. It's like a 1967 dad shirt.
That's good. That's a compliment.
Why are you so deep? Like you're just in a laundry? Yeah. You're out of quarters, or what's up?
Yeah, I don't. I mean, the laundry's free in the basement of my.
Thing. Because
I use quarters.
I know, but it's
not a big deal.
It's worse actually, because
it's the fact that he doesn't have quarters.
No, laundry's free in my apartment building, and they give you free soap, and I still haven't managed to get down there to the basement. It's not good. I feel coming any day now. Laundry.
Okay, I just want to say that after me saying that I was sad this morning, Queen Elizabeth sent me my love, Brocco, saying this will cheer you up. She's not.
Brocco, huh?
She's not wrong.
Who we were discussing the Queen with someone the other day. Oh, your aunt. Because she was talking about Pinterest. And I'm like, I have this friend that really puts up a lot of ass pictures.
She's Pinterested in asses.
Yeah. And your mom's going, yeah, guy ass, girl ass. She's got all the ass there. I check all the time, see what's happening. Because you have like another cousin who just puts up pictures of candy and food and anything from the past. I mean, so there's no forward look. You know what I'm talking about, right?
No.
Nancy.
Oh, really?
So she's just like...
Everything is like, remember this?
Yes, it's always, remember this? And I wish I had a chocolate-covered pretzel. And then it's a chocolate-covered strawberry. And then it's chocolate-covered almonds. And you're just like, how is this something to... why are you bringing this up? But then it'll be like, and MASH. MASH was on Three's Company.
Sure, that was a show.
Yeah.
I am not on Pinterest for this exact reason because I'm very easily distracted. So if somebody has things like that, I'll just look at them even if they aren't that entertaining to me. But I think it's a problem when people do things like use other social media, like say Facebook, and they just put up like whatever tasty recipe. I don't really want to be watching them. But then about 40 minutes later, I'm like, I just watched 70 30-second recipes.
You maybe watch some dude who makes like really disgusting booze drinks.
Oh my God. I have a friend.
For like a half hour. Like, no, you got to see this one too. No, I got the gimmick.
But they're so disgusting. They're so vile, but they're all very sweet drinks. They're alcoholic drinks that are for people who don't like alcohol.
And that's real hangover stuff when that happens. When you mix the sugar and alcohol is why you get that.
Remind me to show you some of these because some of them are like the most disgusting things you've ever seen. Like even as a dessert, you'd be disgusted. There's no point for alcohol to be introduced.
Yeah, you could just have some alcohol.
Yeah.
That could be it for you.
Not 14,000 calories with like pure sugar.
I think he's called like Tipsy or the Tipsy Bartender or something. And I just sit there and watch his videos and get nauseous. But I don't but then I'm doing that. That's me. That's me wasting my own time watching things that I'll never make and that I don't want to consume. I don't know why I'm doing it.
That used to be the Food Network. It's not anymore. Now it's bad fucking dive bars that you would never go to. And by the way, there's never any dives really. You know what I mean? They're faux diners.
Yeah, they're
diners, drive-ins, and dives.
You don't drive in anywhere and there's no dives. It's just an endless amount of faux diners. We're like, oh, you put all that fries on top of your sandwich?
Give me that sauce, dog, or whatever the fuck he says. You should just go to a dive. So what do you... Oh, you just pour whiskey.
But
try some.
But that's the same thing. I would watch those in the same way that now I'm watching like tasty, where like the guy's like, oh yeah, at the end of every video. They're horrible, but I just keep watching them. I don't want to watch them. I don't want to see them.
You got to stop yourself then.
And then like it's shit I don't want to eat. It's just like
just have
like
some.
buffalo chicken mac and cheese sandwich, and I'm like, yeah, I'll watch that. And then I'll be like, like 3 minutes later, you're like, I really got to get some work done. I got to get on with my life. I got to go to the store. What am I doing?
Having some of that buffalo sauce, and then we cover it in buffalo sauce. That's not too good, is it? Doesn't really taste. It's too much.
All buffalo. Huh?
There's also another thing. It's like not even food. There's this thing called Nifty, and that's videos where they show you like home crafts, and I watch them and complain about why it's a stupid craft to do and how much more expensive and how much more time you're wasting by doing this crap rather than just buying this thing that's pretty ugly anyway. But I watch them and sit there and complain to my boyfriend and go, oh my God, you got to watch this one. They're making a fucking hamper out of a garden hose. It's so dumb. But I'm consuming it. I'm watching it and I can't stop.
Yeah, that is, it's almost like if you start to use a word and you act like you're doing it, ironically, and you're like, awesome sauce. Like within a few weeks, you're going to go, seriously, dude, that's awesome sauce. And I'll tell you why.
You know what the one for me was? I had like a group of friends in college, and it was when Sun was pretty popular with the rappers. So it would be like, and then like, so it started to be like, listen, son, like blah, blah, blah. And then seriously would be like, no, son, like you actually have to think about it. And then we're like, are we saying son for real now? Like, are we actually calling each other son? Is that now our term of endearment?
I did that ironically when I thought I was making, being funny with doobage. Oh, good, we got the doobage. Am I right? And after that, I'm like, why doesn't he have any good doobage anymore?
Yeah, like where's the fucking doobage? I also have a friend who I impersonate. He's the one who I'm always like, Queens. I have a friend who I would impersonate, and he would say boo boo. He would say boo boo, but when he was angry, so it would be like, no boo boo, like this is what I just told you right here. So then it started to be like I would impersonate him, and one day I was at work and I was very angry and frustrated, and I actually said boo boo in anger and not joking. Like, listen, boo boo, like this is and I'm like, I think I wasn't doing an impression just now. That was literally me angry calling someone boo boo. I don't even know what that means. And the deep shame and confusion I felt.
Look, son, that happens. There's nothing you can do about it.
Seriously, son.
Black hole, son.
Son, where's the doobage?
Son, you got that doobage for us? I need that coin, that paper.
That'd be awesome sauce.
Awesome sauce. Am I right, guys?
I mean, that'd be the bomb.com. You know what I mean? Like, what are you saying?
Let's go over the football stuff, Mr. Stanley. I know it was a freaky week. Last night I was just trying to go back and forth and watch the game as I was watching the debate. And the debate got to be so exciting that I forgot that there was a game on. And I hate debates. But we've got the big Highlander Challenge.
Bennington presents Highlander. There can be only one comedian football challenge. One comedian will live forever in infamy, never to be forgotten. There can be only one.
Week 3. By this time, we were pretty much destroyed last year, right?
It was a fucking mess.
I think there was like 6 people left by this point.
Highlander works like this. You can go in and pick one game a week is all you have to do. Pick one game. But once you use that team, they are done for you in the season. So if you use the Patriots in week 1, that's it. You don't get to use the Patriots again.
So it's very strategic.
Yes.
Because then you want to look at where you think the strengths will be down the line, not just this week.
Or you could overthink it because you don't know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, particularly early in the season, everyone's like, the Panthers are great. They went to the Super Bowl. they are having a rougher start because they're not the same team. Time has passed. It's a fresh new year.
They're 1-2. Their secondary is totally different. I mean, they're not.
Cam is struggling. Yeah. He's not, going to be the MVP this year. Mm-mm. But you don't know that the first, second, third week of the year. Let's go through some of these names and see whether they survived or were eliminated. Chris Laker, Ari Shafir, Mitchell Walters, former champion Joe List, Barry Crimmins, Amy Miller, Jim Florentine, Tom Sharpling, John Raditsky, Robbie Slovic, Nate Bargatze, Ian Carmel, Sean Jordan. Let's see what happened to that gang.
Has survived another week.
That's like a ton of our favorite people.
And that game wasn't close. They took the Dolphins.
Yeah, that game was in trouble for a while.
It went to overtime.
Oh, yeah.
That would have been a heartbreaking slaughter.
Yeah.
So I'm glad that worked out for those guys.
The problem is Tannehill is not as strong as his wife is beautiful. Okay, that is a big problem for him. And you won't watch a game where there's this pretty blonde wife. Remember when they were college sweethearts and everyone loved them both? Wasn't somebody like jacking to her during a game? Like,
I think it was Skip Bayless, maybe?
No. This was during a game. It was somebody who was calling the game. It was definitely an older guy.
Al Michaels?
No. Al Michaels wouldn't do college. He's on top of the world. Sam Morril, Liz Barrett, both chose the same way. Let's hear how they did.
Eliminated.
That sucks.
That's really sad.
You get scared when you only hear like two people picking something. You're like, they pick a dumb one?
Was that a dumb pick? Is that why that happened?
Paul Morrissey and Gary Goldman were the only two people who made this dumb pick.
Has survived another week.
Gary Goldman, by the way, killing it up in Toronto. A lot happening for him since that last special. Good news. Good news. Dan Perlman, Doug Benson, and Andy Fiore, along with Bridget Everett. Boy, this is a happy 4-pack here, and that's all. Just 4 of them picked the same way.
Has survived another week.
Good to see that 4-pack make it.
Oh, man.
Tammy Pescatelli, who normally goes out first game of the year.
Yeah.
Kicking ass this year. Jimmy Shupert, who's got a marvelous special. Can't wait till it gets shown on TV. I got to see an early thing. Unbelievable. Adam Ferreira, perhaps the kindest, sweetest man in comedy today. Jeffrey Gurian, I don't know whether you know this, but he wrote a book called A Man Rubs the Bank with His Chin.
Did he?
That's with his chin. And Chris Stanky Stanley.
Oh, my God.
Let's see how they did.
Eliminated.
Really a double elimination.
No. I was really rooting for Gurian this year.
Oh, that's a sad one.
The Cardinals blow. Bruce Arians sucks. And just put the ball in the back of Carson Palmer's head.
Yeah, that game wasn't close from Jump Street.
I still had hope at the half, though. Like, they scored. All right, they're down 17-24. They could still do this.
Oh, I think they were down by like 3-4 touchdowns at one point. I mean, it was just an embarrassment.
At the end, holy fuck. Palmer was just throwing picks left and right.
I thought even early in the game that they were in real trouble.
Yeah, it was.
There was a run back of a fumble. It was just not their day. Not their fucking day. Sean, oh man, Sean, I was going to give you the prize too. He just hung up. He knew who the person was. It was Brett Musburger. Sean, you call back and I'll have Vito take care of you.
Do it.
Brett Musburger's about 180. This is a college game. This is a girl who's in college. And he's just like, look at that up there. I'm telling you right now, I'd eat a mile of her shit to get to her asshole. I'm like, what? What?
He just, he knows his mic is on, right?
Tannehill drops back. He was just into her in a big, big way, and it was frightening. It scared a country. You're the best around. I don't know where we are with this. J-Nog, Aaron Berg, and Brian Bailey all picked the same.
Has survived another week.
Oh, they are, but the Cowboys. The Cowboys had a big, big win.
They should be
Runaway win.
eliminated no matter, just for picking the Cowboys.
Well, you might have to just every once in a while. But Cowboys ran away with that game. You know, Aaron Berg recently got married on the bridge in Central Park, where you walk over that bridge.
Oh, nice, yeah.
Jeffrey Gurian wrote it up in his column. I can tell you guys don't read the column because you're just like, huh? Married? But like a week or two later, some people were getting married there, and this is up in the Interbank today. And Tom Hanks runs up. He's jogging for his new movie, Scully 2, and he gets in all their wedding pictures with them. And Aaron Berg, gets a picture with Ari Shaffir wearing a purple suit. You got to see that picture of Ari. But yeah, there's Tom Hanks, America's favorite man.
Just gumping his way into the photos.
Gumping his way through everything. Keep going down. Let's see some more.
Oh,
there he is. He's just kissing
he's
her hand.
Incorrigible.
He's on a sweaty, fucking 1970s tracksuit.
Oh, God.
He wouldn't do that for Aaron Berg, though.
Why wouldn't he?
Just doesn't like Aaron, I guess. I don't know.
It doesn't even look that sweaty. I feel like this is like a work. Like they actually got him to, like he wasn't actually jogging.
Why would that be the case?
I don't trust anything on the internet.
It says it's a work.
Others of addiction. But that is what's something with these guys, because they're picking the Cowboys and winning. So is that everybody? Did I leave anybody out?
And actually, Anthony DeVito and Joe DeRosa
are having an affair.
Have survived.
By the way,
Has survived another week.
Your ability for timing. Just rushing his way through.
Have survived. You're the best.
Just over in a second.
Yeah.
Well, I'm happy for them anyway.
Yeah.
I think it's great.
DeRosa killing it in Toronto also. Hearing very, very big things about him. Forbes did their highest paid comedians.
Mm-hmm.
And this is a shocker at number one. Never thought I'd say this. Kevin Hart. I don't know how.
Weird.
Kevin Hart.
Wow.
You know what? Selling out those stadiums, I know it doesn't seem like a big deal, but after a while, like your 400th show,
Yeah.
that money starts to stack up.
Yeah, but is that something you could live on?
No, maybe not. But then you also do 2 hit movies that you're paid for.
Okay.
And then you're producing your own, I don't know what it is.
So then
YouTube
it pays
channel.
the bills, is what you're saying.
I guess, I mean, he's a young guy. It's not like he's, I don't even think he's putting money away yet.
It's money in my pocket,
He had 3 hit movies in the year, and then every arena show he did, he made $1 million. And then he ended up in Philadelphia playing the football stadium. I tell you, I got seats on the 25-yard line, and it was surprisingly good. I mean, I couldn't see him, but I saw the giant screen.
That must have been nice.
It's always nice. You know what I mean?
Sure.
And now he's making a movie of that.
Yeah.
He's making a movie. I think it's called, I'm going to guess it's called Who Dat. I'm not sure. But it's something like
I'm going to see that.
Yeah. Vito, you're looking it up for me, right?
It's What Now?
Thank you. What now?
Who dat?
Who Dat talk about Kevin Hart?
Who dat?
Second on the list was Jim Norton.
Ooh.
Very nice.
Well paid.
Then Jerry Seinfeld. Amy Schumer.
These guys are doing well for themselves.
Yeah, they are. They're doing very, very good. You're the best around.
Who dat?
We got a lot of stuff to cut after the show today, huh?
Yes, we do.
Maybe we ought to order a little snack after.
I think that's a good idea.
All right. Snack time.
Snickety snack.
What are we thinking?
Pizza.
Can we just go back to calling it za? Because I missed that.
You want some za? We'll get some za.
I got to find out, Vito, is it a cheat day for you?
Make it a cheat day.
I like the attitudes. Do you even believe these two guys? Look at them.
I mean, this is really weird what's happening here.
I just look alike, Pamela.
But one of you is trapped behind the glass.
She said such sweet things to us on the way out.
I know, she did.
I think she said to me, too, she whispered in my ear, I want to be Gail's new mommy.
I don't think she said that, did she?
Just let her say what she wants to say.
Hmm.
I'll probably end up in the show with her. Like
as a new suitor.
Trying to sneak a sandwich into to watch the game on the porch. Oh wait, I was thinking of Kevin James's show. He still has a wife who doesn't like him.
Really?
And doesn't like his eating habits?
He eats too much and he's lazy with his friends and he's silly with his money.
Right.
You know, and he has to be yelled at.
So these things must really happen, right? Like that must exist.
No, you mean to Kevin?
No, I mean in life.
In real life, Kevin has a little Asian wife.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And I'm sure she's taking his shoes when he gets home. Oh, I don't know. I don't know if she's from Asia. But he's got a gorgeous wife. We were all bar 9 one night, and he brought her in. And everyone's like, oh, it must be good to be on TV. TV must be a really...
So it really works out.
Yeah, it does. It helps. It helps when you're dating. And I'm sure he would... Look, there she is. I'm sure he would...
She's gorgeous.
Yeah, she is beautiful. No, I think it's that has been around as long as TV, that the man doesn't get to eat the giant fucking Dagwood sandwich.
Yeah.
That's all the woman cares about.
She doesn't want him to have that sandwich. She wants him to have something else. Some greens. Drink your kale smoothie.
And then he has to, put on a gorilla suit, and she thinks it's cute that the gorilla suit's eating the sandwich.
And then it's really him.
And then the head falls off. And,
what?
Yeah.
What did I tell you?
But then at the end, she does love him.
Aww.
She's like, I love my fat wastoid nothing.
Fatty, I love you.
That's a great name for a show.
Make room for Fatty. Just call it Make Room for Fatty. The fat dad comes home. The kids are like, you're a dope.
Now, don't forget you have to fix the lawnmower, Fatty.
Get your fat ass out there.
You fat fuck.
That'd be a cute title. I did know kids that called their dad Fat Dope. That was what they called him. Yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
In place of dad.
Yes. They would go like this. Is Fat Dope home yet?
Holy shit.
Yeah. Fat Dope.
It's worse.
You're so fat wasn't bad enough.
Yeah. And now he'd just be probably regular sized dope. I mean, fucking, the fat thing has moved around a lot.
Oh, yeah, like the culture's really changed.
Some more leeway.
Yeah.
Well, you even like watch shows or like old movies where somebody is supposed to be fat and like they might not be fit.
Dude,
but you would have to go way bigger for that to be the...
I'm telling you, there was a movie called Fatso in the 1970s. And the guy was like running around and eating too much. And if you go back and look at it now, he weighed like 225 pounds. I mean,
Yes, guys, come on.
Oh man, you would have to go way bigger than that.
Yes.
For Fatso. Well, you know what the big difference was when they remade Willy Wonka, the Willy Wonka versus Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, the kid who plays Augustus Gloop had to be so much fatter than the original kid.
I didn't know
so,
that.
like, look up the original Willy Wonka Augustus Gloop and then compare it to the modern day Augustus.
All right, this is modern day Augustus.
That's the modern day.
Yeah, why
kid,
wouldn't we
but
went
I
the
don't
other
know
way?
why.
It would have been better.
I don't know why we did it that way. Well, a body shot would be better, but he's just like, he's like chubby there.
Yeah.
That's exactly it.
Yeah.
He's not, like, he's like chubby knees and chubby cheeks.
They've taken it to morbidly obese.
Yeah. And like, he's more like barrel chested, the original one.
Yeah.
And the whole thing is like, he's so fat. They're like, nobody would buy that today, as being the fat kid. Where's the comedy in that?
That's not funny enough. He's got to be super fat.
I mean, he's got to be.
Either you fatten up that boy,
or we got to go out and get another fat kid. You got 24 hours, son. Now get fatter, fat ass. Eat.
How are you going to start Make Room for Fatty?
You got to goose feed this fucker. Hose down his gullet. And you're just pouring pudding in there.
I like the moms that are like, yeah, my son would be perfect to play the fat kid that everybody makes
That's
fun
got to
of.
be the worst mom
I
ever,
always,
right?
like, even when I was a kid, I used to think about that. Where you're like, not only are you a stage mom, so you're already terrible, but you're like, my son is perfect for this kid who farts too much because he's so fat.
So fucking fatty farting cheese eater also is getting molested on the set.
So in this scene, you're eating a big bowl of beans.
reading the ad in the paper going, fat, eats a lot, farts, smells bad, that's you.
No, in the scene where the turd falls out of your pant leg and then you eat it.
Because you're so hungry.
Did you actually shit for that fatty?
Do you shit on cue?
Your method, right?
Oh, God.
Billy, Texas, what's up, buddy?
Yeah, you make $60,000 a year. You're paying for low-class, poor-ass motherfuckers' education. You make $60,000 a year. You're paying for, hey, anyhow, how you doing? Hey, you know, look how a cop has to go to a house and see a family disturbance. You're looking at someone's couch, a fridge, pictures, and then on the outside, when they pull someone over, they're dealing with some guy moving and pockets and, I'm talking to you, you Billy boy.
Oh, that was fucking nuts. Aaron in Wisconsin.
It's Eric, but did I hear Chris Stanley say he doesn't believe he's skeptical of things on the internet? Since when? We've had smartphones in the 70s, 80-foot alligators, anything that guy sees he believes. But he doesn't believe Tom Hanks sweats?
Nope, I question everything, dude.
Nothing. You question nothing. You did believe in the smartphone in the 70s.
Yeah.
Hey, did you guys see the latest thing going around on the old internet? And it's Matt Damon in 1961.
No, I didn't see that.
Yeah. So go ahead, Chris. It's up on the iBang, but the Matt Damon doppelganger from 1961. This guy's amazing.
Holy shit.
Whoa. That really looks like him.
It is him. They think he's either a vampire or just some kind of undead.
Possibly a wizard. You know, who knows?
He's like that Nick Cage vampire. Like, I think maybe that there's something going on here.
I know.
That's Matt Damon, man. That is fucking...
And you don't think that Tom Hanks sweats.
It's just, it seems pretty... I mean, I can see the picture. There's no pit stains. He doesn't even need sweat on his brow.
Gail, your buddy Dennis Dugan's got a big hit video out.
Yeah.
In Funny or Die.
Yeah, it's Trump Surrogate Boot Camp. And this is, I believe it was all improv, and then they just shot it and released it this morning. The Trump Surrogate Boot Camp.
All right, let's check this out. It's up on Funny or Die. Already front page of Funny or Die. Having trouble with sound, Chris?
Yeah, just there you go.
I'd like to thank everyone for coming to our first Trump Surrogate Boot Camp. Thank you. Oh, this is Juan, my Mexican.
Whose job did this guy steal?
What we're here to do is to learn how to counteract the terrible lies that the liberal media puts forward about the incredible, amazing, astounding, always successful Mr. Trump. Mr. Trump! Thank you. First, we question every question. So when they come at you with a question that really can't be answered, we don't answer it. We question what they are actually questioning. Turn it into a question. Put them on the spot. Mr. Trump has never flip-flopped. They're going to hit you with that on a regular basis.
If he says the one thing, though, and then he says immediately another thing, isn't that flip-flopping?
Flip-flopping is when you say one thing and then you say another thing. That's flip-flopping. He doesn't flip-flop. He says one thing and then he uses words to say something else. He just changes his words. Completely different, not flip-flopping.
All right, so that is up. And this, of course, goes on for a while. We can't play it all. It's very, very visual. But up on Funny or Die. And we got a link or we got a Twitter thing that we can hook into?
It's on the Interbank.
Great.
Yeah, let's tweet it out, too.
You know, I told you this the other day. I'm watching an old Rockford Files from the 1970s, like a 78 or 79. And Dennis Dugan is on it as the young kind of PI that's following Rockford around and driving him crazy. And he looks so much the same now. He's one of those people that he would wear his pants from that year, you know, from 40 years ago, whatever. Very, very cool, though. So that's up on the Interbank. Go and check it out. Larry Miller is part of this part of this improv group.
Yeah, I love Larry Miller so much.
Everybody does. He's a beloved person. He actually came in one time. I think Gurion brought him. And he just sat here and just said so many funny things in a row that made us laugh. And like he was like, that's when I had the brain damage. I had too much to drink, went outside, fell down and hit my head, cracked it open, brain damage. I'm in a coma. And we're all laughing, and he goes like this. He just takes off the hat, and you just see this big scar on his head.
God.
The story was totally true. But he's telling us about his coma, right? And we're fucking falling out, man. We're dying.
Oh, God.
So that's up on the Interabang, or you can go to straight to Funny or Die and see this. It's always, well, you know, Pamela Adlon was talking about this of now she's directing kids and stuff like that, young people. And Dennis is with this improv group. You just do a million different things. Unless you're me, and then you do very little, you know?
You do things.
The other day I saw a bird. So, I mean, I got that. Yeah. I mean, it was dead and under cellophane. Is it cellophane still? That's just plastic. I don't think you would ever put anything like that under cellophane.
I think cellophane is still used for cellophane.
Thank you, Chris.
You know
I
what?
appreciate it.
I'm on top of the cellophane thing.
I like the fact that you're my surrogate. You're out there. You're lying for me.
You are.
I know we got to break soon, but there is something for the guys today. Little nude picture up on the iBang of Mr. Tom Brady sunbathing nude in his backyard. And let's just say hanging brain, shall we? Now here's the thing. The New York Post puts this up. This is his fucking backyard, and you know it must be a big backyard, right?
Yeah.
Somebody's either fucking hanging in a tree a mile away with a lens.
It's in Italy.
Shouldn't this be his private life?
Yeah, it should be. Technically, it should be, yes.
He's in Italy during the season?
That's what the article said, that he's in Italy.
I remember when his ACL got blown out that year, and he didn't go back. And they go, have you been watching the games? And he's like, no. He goes, they're saying, you're not watching the games? He said, no, I got to focus on my knee. I mean, nobody could,
Right. You would never think.
Aren't you supposed to be living and dying with your buddies?
What's happening?
Doesn't involve him anymore.
He's like, I'm so fucking mad they're 3-0 without me. I'm going to take my clothes off. He actually looks like a 1963 astronaut there. I don't know what it is about that haircut.
He does, yeah.
But he's covering up his nutsack. So he must know on some level that he's nude.
There's, part of him that seems... That looks like we're about to see something. There's more that you click through these pictures.
Yeah, it's more and
so
more.
Close.
One, he's just pulling his ass cheeks open.
Looks like he's covering his ass, so he didn't burn his ass in the sun.
Put on shorts. That's a good way not to burn your ass.
He doesn't like fucking pants or shorts. The man likes to let it hang out, especially on vacation.
He's a comfortable guy.
Oh yeah, very. Good, they got a haircut. People were shitting on him for his hairstyle at the beginning of the season, early the preseason. Right?
What was his hair before this? Because this is pretty goofy to me.
It was just longer. People just thought I looked like a fucking crazy person.
All right, Nicole G said she's able to listen to us live because she has a sick day, but every time I laugh, I cough. But laughter is the best medicine, right? Yeah, unless you have tuberculosis.
Then that's not so funny. You need to give those lungs a break.
That's right. You got to get up off those TB sheets. All right, Vince said it was Brett Musburger, but that wasn't Tannehill's girlfriend. It was some Alabama hot girl. All right, thank you.
Musburger's still saying some creepy shit.
All right. Go Pack Joe, who we all love, right?
Yes.
He's the best.
Yeah, yeah.
He wrote this. The actual instances of Pepper attempting and landing a joke has gone way up since he got dissed by the Legion of Skanks.
It's gone way up?
Yeah, he just, the actual instances. So maybe he's saying that Chris is trying now.
Oh, maybe that's what it is. So that's a positive.
I've always been trying. God damn it.
Oh, you put it all out there. I mean, nobody denies that.
Thank you.
Kim says, for the second day in a row, Ronnie is calling the Hanks movie Scully instead of Sully. Who will say something? Yeah, who will step on a joke? Which one of you would be willing to step on a joke?
Ron, it's Sully.
Thank you, Chris.
Oh, thank you, Chris.
Thank you, Chris.
Are you happy?
Everyone's welcome.
Now there's no more jokes. You got your correct information.
Scully was on X-Files, Ron.
Yes, that was the...
See, but the movie's Sully.
Yeah. You're the best around. Let's take a break here. We're with you till 3. Bennington. Bennington Show. Ron Bennington, Gail Bennington.
You.
Chris Stanley.
What's up?
And Vito Fuck. Is that what your name means?
In French Canadian, yeah.
Yeah. In French Canadian. But not to you? You never thought of yourself as Vito Fuck?
No, but now I think of myself as Vito Fuck ever since I found that out.
Smart, man. That's what you should wrestle under. Would you ever get in the ring, Vito?
I would love to get in the ring. Squared circle.
Yeah, we all know what the ring is.
Yeah. We know that it's a squared circle, too. Or a square, as it's commonly called.
It's just a fucking square, man.
I know we got a guest coming up, Chris. Is there stuff we need to get to today? Am I behind in the times? Is something happening?
I believe we're on pace.
We're on pace.
I believe we're on pace, yes.
Is that so?
Gee, anything that's on your mind today?
Well, yeah, I mean, I got a couple of things on my mind, but the thing that's really I've been thinking about all day is the HAW Challenge. The HAW Challenge is a new epidemic that has hit the
I'm not even familiar
high school
with this.
students.
I don't know what's going on.
Why do you know what high school students are doing?
Because they tweet all their tweets and they're on the Snapchats. So this is something that one kid started and started to become popular. Just take a listen to it.
All right.
My name's Cassie, and I say I'm gay because I've swallowed more cum shots than a prostitute. My name's Amanda, and I ride horses because I can't ride dick. My name's Blake, and I play soccer because I'm a fucking pussy. My name's Corellis, and I dress like a douchebag to hide the fact that I'm in theater. It's Brian, and I'm Mexican, and I don't even speak Spanish. My name's Drew, and I still need my parents to ride roller coasters with me. Dylan, and I'm a senior, but I can only get with freshmen. My name's Drew, and I act like a douche because my penis will never be as big as my ego. My name's Giovanni, and I talk shit online because I'm too short to say it to your face. My name's Dimitri, and I make shit memes because my dick is small. My name's Ian, and I'm 17, and I'm still in the Boy Scouts. Cole, and I'm 15, and I've already let 2 guys run a train on me. And I'm pussy wiped by a lesbian. Hi, my name is Kayla, and I hooked up with a guy who topped off another guy. And my name's Cassie, and I think people forgot my nickname was Shedhead 2 years ago. And my name's Tyler, and I can't handle my liquor like a man. My name's Anthony, and I dress nice to hide the fact that I have a broccoli on my head.
That is fucking crazy. Now, did they invent the ha? Is that theirs?
I'm not sure. I think that a kid got this thing started, and I'm not sure if she's the original.
Well, first of all, she's amazing. Where'd you get this from?
TR.
Oh, yeah, he sends a lot of great shit.
TR passed it on.
From Cali. That's fucking funny as shit.
Well, this is great because you know what I liked about this? That there is this thing where everyone is like, oh, millennials hate bullying. The founders hate bullying. No, it's still alive and well.
I'm a millennial and I'm sad because 3 seniors ran train on me.
I'm Chris Stanley and I suck 100 dicks.
No. You should try.
It just made me happy to know, bullying is still a thing, and they're still enjoying it. So
First of all,
everyone
it's
stop
funny.
saying.
You would be laughing if your friend said this about you. I'm 15, I let 2 guys run train on me.
So there's like 100 of these.
I'm going to watch all 100.
A lot of them is the same girl, but there's one in particular that she's going through, she's saying people fucking suck dicks and they're like whatever. Trains. And then finally it comes to this Middle Eastern kid and she's laughing while she says it and she's like, my name's blah, 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 and I have to have an arranged marriage.
All right, let's just play a couple more.
Okay.
Is there any better than, is there any one of these?
They're all pretty
links? They're all
much
great.
the same.
Yeah, go one down. One down. All right, let's start there.
I'm Liberty, and I like to kiss my friends' men. I'm Liberty, and I eat healthy, so people know I'm a vegan. I'm Lib and post pictures of my butt on my story, but say it's a body posy. I'm Lib, and I beg guys to smash at parties. I'm Liberty Alfred, and Ad is my only friend. I'm vegan, but still eat dick.
Wait, that girl sounds like Molly a little bit.
I flaunt my body because my personality is dick. I'm Liberty and I like abusive men. Hi, I'm Liberty Alfred and I'm slim thick on Twitter, but I actually am not. I'm Liberty Alfred and I suck dick behind bushes. I'm Lib and I'm a gold digger. I'm Liberty and I'm hairier than Harambe.
Fuck. But fucking high school still looks like the dullest shit that could happen.
Shitty.
There's no difference between that and lockup.
You need cruelty to get you through the day.
I give it one more, and we got to move on. But I'm loving these things.
Hi, my name's Taya Lee. I don't know what I like, so I pop my pussy severely for boys and girls. Hi, my name's Jacob Santos, and I did the 10th grade more times than a lady to get stolen in a puff pass circle. Hi, my name's Elijah, and I'm so obsessed with football I dyed my hair just like Odell Beckham. Hi, my name's Diana, and I'm white as hell. I look like a piece of paper, but I still try to act as black as my shirt. Hi, my name's Madison Rowley, and I switched into fashion design last year because all the dudes in carpentry kept staring at my big old butt. Hi, my name's Raquel, and I'm as straight as my teeth. Hi, my name's Carol, and my box braids make me look like the female version of Future. Purple rain, purple. Hi, my name's Arden, and I left my ass at home today. I don't know what your name is, but you got a fat ass. Goddamn.
My name's Cindy. If I see you at lunch, I will say with you, and I will not care.
Hi, my name's Kaylee. I used to be so shy to talk to a boy, but now I ride my boyfriend off into the sunset. Hi, my name's Taylor, and I thought cutting my hair was a good idea until all the teachers started accidentally calling me Tyler in class. Hi, my name's Diana, and my setting powder is made out of cocaine. Hi, my name's McKenna, and this cracker isn't the only thing that goes down my throat. Hi, my name's Jordan. Throwback to 2013, I look like Flappy Bird. Hi, my name's Shay, and just because I have nice eyes, I think I can talk to 3 girls at once, and I think it's acceptable.
That's fucking hilarious. Yeah, she's real good. She should have a show.
She's roasting them.
Hey, Meatface, what's up?
Hi, my name's Chris Stanley, and I sit in the corner while other centaurs fuck my girlfriend.
He's a cook. So good. He's a cook centaur. That's true.
I'm a centaur.
He's a cook tour. That's the funniest shit ever. I love those kids. Anyway, that's up on the Interbank. Also, if you like the big Steve Colbert show, our buddy Emma Willman's set is up on there.
It's so super funny. She did great last night.
Yeah, she did great.
She really, really killed it.
You did it, Emma. Go, girl. My name's Emma, and I cut my hair short so I could go on Steve Colbert. Dude, do you really let watch other dudes fuck your girlfriend?
Yeah.
No, that doesn't happen.
I heard that guy say
that guy's just memeing me.
Yeah.
He fucking memed me.
Oh, my God. But he made you sound like a cuck.
Tour.
All right, Rob writes, if these were boys, they'd probably be in cuffs. I thought all turns were PC now.
Hey, dude, a boy actually started it, I believe. I've seen boys do it.
Guess
it's just
not.
she's funnier at it.
They'll never be you, PC dopes. And Lisa says worse. That's fucking shit is funny as shit. I don't care what anybody says.
Bullying is alive and well.
Funnier than ever.
Yeah.
So much better than Damn Daniel.
I don't know. It's pretty much the same. Damn, Daniel's pretty good.
I hate Daniel.
Look at him back at again with his white vans.
My name's Jeffrey Gurian, and I hang around Hello now so I can get on Broadway.
No, my name is Jeffrey Good, and I walk around with my fly open.
Do you really,
He
Jeffrey?
hurt himself. He
I don't know why that's just the funniest thing ever. Now I see why Gurian hangs around with kids.
That's some crazy shit, right?
Yeah, it's funny.
That's fucking hilarious.
Did you?
I gotta start going to high schools more. Is that where it's from? High school or college?
I don't know where. It's just this internet thing that goes on, and it's just TR sent it in, and Gail put it up on the iBank. And
Isn't it weird how this shit starts?
I would have sworn I would have not have liked this, but if it was explained to me, because I hate any of the fast stuff, but the quickness of these fucking roast.
But the best is like watching the girls react to when they say something that she's actually done. Like, I would fuck guys behind the bushes. Her face is, why the fuck would you say that, dude?
Why bring that up?
Yeah, on paper it would sound like it would suck on paper,
Yeah.
but when you hear it, it's very catchy.
Yes. Jeffrey,
You just hope your kids are not doing that, that's all.
Jeffrey, you and Jackie Martling are up to some no good business. What's that?
Well, it's actually good business. We're doing a charity event. The Elizabeth Seton Pediatric Center is holding a charity event tomorrow, a fundraiser at the Cutting Room tomorrow night. And Jackie is the star of the show. And because he's in my new book, Laughing Legends, we're doing a book signing at the same time. And the proceeds will go to the Elizabeth Seton Pediatric Center. It's a center for medically compromised kids. There's like 137 kids who live there with varying illnesses, and it was like a really good
You kids have various illnesses.
I can't do it good. I have to practice.
No, you're doing really well, Jeffrey.
Yeah,
Don't
I'm
put
doing
yourself
my
down.
best.
Now,
always doing my best.
Does Martling know any jokes that he could tell at this event?
I don't know. That's what I'm wondering, if he has jokes, and if, and what kind of an audience it's going to be. I don't think it's going to be kids. I think it's adults, because it's not really, like, his material doesn't really lend itself to children's parties, so I'm curious, too, to find out what he's going to be doing, but I have a feeling it's just going to be adults, and he'll do his regular thing.
Yeah, I don't think it's a place for sick children. I don't think that would work out.
No, I don't think that they're going to be bringing them. I think it's the fundraiser for the sick children.
Ah!
There'll be sick children there.
That changes everything.
Weird.
Yeah, exactly. So that should be fun. And I'm looking forward to that. And, last night I was a judge at the Harlem Comedy Festival.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Jeffrey.
Yes.
Let me guess, another black guy win this year?
Amazingly enough, yeah, there were a couple of black guys there, and they all won.
Yeah.
I was afraid to vote against anybody.
Now, the beautiful thing is when you went up there, you got to meet a lot of your girlfriend's cousins.
And I fit right in, man.
Yeah.
It's so amazing. I fit in immediately.
Jeffrey's very, very happy to be at an all-black occasion. That's his thing.
It's so funny because I'm so used to it, and it's like it's interesting to me.
Yeah.
Even it's very interesting to me. I feel great when I'm like the only white dude in the place. But there were actually a few others last night. But I'm very comfortable. I'm comfortable with everybody.
I went to one of those things and I was just crying the whole time.
You were crying?
Yeah, I just didn't want to get hurt.
Oh yeah, well, you gotta bring muscle with you. You gotta bring exactly. You gotta be with the right people. That's all. I'm totally I'm hooked up.
That's good. That's good to hear. Well, the gig sounds like a lot of fun. Martling is a blast, and
always fun.
He is part of your book. Why, Jeffrey? What was it about Martling?
Well, it's called Laughing Legends: How the Comic Strip Changed the Face of Comedy. And it's about all the people that came out of that club. The club's still open since '74. This is the updated issue. Got a lot of new photos, a lot of new things, interviews with Seinfeld, Billy Crystal, Ray Romano, Lisa Lampanelli, Susie Essman, Colin Quinn, all the people that called that club home in the early days. It's the only one of the three clubs from that time that is still open.
Now, have you done anything on Greg Stone?
It's so funny because I saw him again the other night. I didn't remember that I actually had met him at the Apple store. He was working at the Apple store, and he admitted he came to my house to fix my computer, and he just told me he had no idea what he was doing.
No,
but I don't even remember that. I don't even remember that. All I know is the people at the Apple store are always so helpful to me.
Well, that's good.
That they actually come to your house. The guy came over, and I think he stayed over and slept on my couch.
That is unusual for an Apple Store employee. Everyone's not going to get that kind of service.
But I didn't realize that he was so involved in comedy. He's a funny dude, man.
Oh, he's a very, very funny man.
I saw him the other night at New York Comedy Club, and he killed it. He was really, really funny.
Now,
a lot funnier than he was at the Apple Store.
No, then he wasn't that good. Now, where did Dangerfields come in? How much later was Dangerfield than the original three clubs?
Well, Dangerfields was actually probably before. I think Dangerfields opened in '69, but it started out like he and Tony Bavacqua had been playing clubs downtown because Tony was a musician. He's a drummer. And Rodney was playing down in the Village, and they decided that they were going to open their own place. So I'm pretty sure they opened in '69, but that place was known mostly for Rodney, When they did the Young Comedian specials, they launched big talent like Dice came out of that,
But that wasn't a thing where he would have comics up in those days. It was just Rodney would go up and perform.
But you know what? I wasn't there then, so I don't remember. But he had comment. I mean, he was the main star of that club.
Yeah.
That's why people came there. It wasn't known as a headliner club, except for him. They'd have other people. I remember when Jackie Mason, before he was famous, used to play that club. would be wandering around at the bar, and a lot of performers that you'd see on the Ed Sullivan Show would hang out at Dangerfields. And that club is celebrating its 50th year. But it wasn't one of the three where comedians, were hanging out on a constant basis, and they were trading comics like Catch and the comic strip. If one needed a comic, they'd send the other one over there.
But here's the thing about Dangerfields. 50 years open, and they still don't have a lit sign. It's a painted sign.
The club is exactly the way it was in those days. When I used to write for Rodney back in the 80s, they left his room exactly that way. I was in there one night, and Tony walked in. He goes, geez, I could picture you sitting there writing jokes with Rodney in the 80s. It looks exactly the same. They didn't change a thing. But it still looks good.
It's almost like a museum, though, that office, huh?
The office does, but the club is like, it looks like an elegant nightclub to me. Like, it's got tables and red banquettes, and I think it's a very cool place. It brings back a lot of memories, and a lot of young comics are performing there these days. It's having a real resurgence, because for a long time, they were doing a lot of prom stuff. Like, it has a real history.
Really, I think prom and comedy, or promedy, as I try to call it, I think it's on its way.
You beat me. I was like,
All right, Jeffrey, one more time, plug where we can see you and Jackie Martling.
Tomorrow night at the Cutting Room from 6 o'clock till 9 o'clock. The Cutting Room is on East 32nd Street. And it's a great show. It's a wonderful place. And you can get tickets by going to that site, either to the Cutting Room site or Elizabeth Seton Pediatric Center, SETON. Elizabeth Seton. Thanks so much, guys.
Thank you, buddy. We'll see you soon. There he goes.
Good talking to you.
Should we do one more, or are we starting to burn it out?
One more, huh? One more, huh?
It's really funny.
My name's Emily, and I'm in the 10th grade, and I haven't had my first kiss. My name's Lizzie, and my ex stuck it in the wrong hole. My name's Jack, and I stuck it in the wrong hole because my dick is curved. My name's Ben, and I work out every day to make up for my dick size. My name's Linnea, and I play basketball so everyone knows I'm a dyke. My name's Maya, and I use self-tanner so people don't call me Casper. My name's Tanner, and my pubes are longer than my flow. My name's Olivia, and I've taken more cum shots than a prostitute. My name's Kelly, and I'm dating a white guy to cover up the fact that I'm a night rider. My name's Chloe, and I date upperclassmen because no one in my grade likes me. My name's Carter, and I play hockey to cover up the fact that I'm gay. My name's Jerry, and I show off my dick more than Pornhub. My name's Cy, and I have to have an arranged marriage.
Oh, that kid's amazing.
She knows everyone in that fucking school.
Yeah.
And all the dirt.
Everybody rolls with it, though. Do you notice that?
Yeah, they like it.
Even the kid with the curved dick is like, what am I going to do?
That's
true. The old dick's curved. The old dick's curved.
Hit the wrong hole.
All right, we're going to break here. Right back in a couple of minutes. Who's our guest, Chris?
Rory Albanese.
Rory Albanese coming up. And he has been the FanDuel. Wait, this is the wrong paper. Rory is playing Caroline's Comedy Club in New York City, but he's also been the producer of what shows? Larry Wilmore's show?
The Nightly Show, The Daily Show for years and years, a writer on both shows as well.
That's great. All right, so he's up in a couple of minutes, and then we're going to break, but you're going to hear us just talking about FanDuel and how much we like it.
About 10 seconds.
Yeah, 10 seconds.
It's like a 140-character live journal. It's hashtag Bennington. Tweet it.
All of our buddies are fighting online. It's one thing you always got to look out for around here. All your buddies end up fighting online with each other. Hey, it's the Bennington Show. Ron Bennington, Gail Bennington, Vito Bennington, and Chris. I got problems with my mic, Bennington. What's going on over there, buddy?
I've noticed that the mic here at this station, it's slowly dipping more and more, like it's going to fall out of the actual console.
Now, I wanted to know why this. that you needed to explain to me that it was the mic at this station. Where did you think I would think it would be at? Fan?
Outside.
This station, not any other station.
No.
I don't like these mics at all, as you know.
Yeah.
Not crazy about it.
I find these to be really weird. These, like, the weird arm.
Can I just tell you something? Why fix something that don't need fixing? You know what I mean? I don't change a horse midstream.
You don't. You never have.
I don't understand the design of this.
No.
I know we're trying to use the look futuristic.
I mean, the future is now, so it makes sense. But what is it? Oh, I see the dip.
Yeah, right?
Look at it.
Yeah, it's terrible.
It's dipping in two places on this thing. It's going. It's singing
That
like
thing's
the
a dippity doo-dah.
singing like the Titanic.
When I dip, you dip, we dip.
Bum, 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 bum.
I just want to let it be known that this thing is
Let it be known.
Let it be known. Let it be known.
All right, so our guest is coming in just a little bit. We'll talk about the big debate last night with him, among other things. And what's the story on the evolution of the selfie, Gail? I know that there's we're living in a selfie world. Chris Stanley sent this to us, but you're saying the selfie has evolved?
Yeah, like I'm wondering at this point, is selfie just like the way you see how people take photos? Like initially, everybody with the front-facing camera.
Insane.
Yeah, so this is a picture of Hillary in front of a crowd, and the entire crowd, instead of just taking a picture of her or going one by one and taking a picture, have all turned their back and they're getting themselves and Hillary in the same shot. So is this like, you see something like this, you're like, this is creepy, this is weird, this says something about society? Or do you just see it as like, look, that's how people take pictures now because of the dynamic that front-facing camera started?
We have changed, but you could have always done that with any camera.
Right.
In history. And
it just makes it easier because now you can see instead of like a viewfinder not knowing no.
But very few people ever took a selfie with film.
Right.
It's happened.
Yeah.
They go back and they find some that people have done it, but they're very rare.
Really, the MySpace pic was more popular before the front-facing camera, which is when you have the camera in front of a mirror.
Yes.
And then you're holding the camera. And you saw that, even old photos of people doing that very same gimmick because there's nothing changed. But now, does it bother you to see people taking like if somebody says to you, oh, this is awesome, let's take a picture together, they'll say, let's take a selfie.
I would rather, Chris or Vito would take it or whoever, because I find the experience odd.
Of getting very close and having it close to your head.
Like you would never take a picture of somebody right on top of them like that.
Right, from above.
But somebody had talked about this a long time ago, and they said, like, if you went, like if it was the 80s, right, or the 90s, and you went to a girl's apartment and you were just, spending a little time, and she got up to go to the bathroom, and you were like, oh, photo albums. And if you start to look through their photo albums, and there were just pictures of herself that she took, you would run out of there.
You'd be like,
it would have
really
been
weird.
It would have been something of a horror movie. And now people have taken, and I'm not talking about Kim Kardashian, I'm saying most human beings now have taken thousands of pictures of themselves with their own phones, and it wouldn't have been thought about in the past.
You would not. It wouldn't occur to you to use your phone to buy a camera in order to take pictures of yourself.
You wouldn't have thought, I want this many pictures of myself. People's photo albums was of other people. They were like, oh, this is my aunt. Here's me and my little brother at Disney World. And you're like, oh, God, this is fucking crazy. She's showing me a photo album. Well, whatever. Maybe I'll get some bear tit. But the thought now that all those pictures would just be of her or him is this is a different place that we're at.
Yeah. It's, like there are people who I think they dabble in it and they do it now and again. And then there are people, if you follow them on their Instagram accounts, it's the majority of the photos that they take. Just like there are people who like just take photos of food, and that can be really annoying to people.
That never was done either. No one took a fucking picture of dinner. And they claim that chefs hate it. They're like, we don't make food for you to take pictures. We make food for you to eat. Please eat your food. And they also says that it has slowed down the process and the tables are longer.
It's not only because people take photos of their food, but the entire experience of dining with with your phone has made it almost double the length of time. And so therefore restaurants lose money, servers lose tips because they can't turn tables. Because a lot of times there would be like a lull in the conversation. And that might be a moment that you would be like, yeah, let's get the check, let's go for a walk, let's change, let's go home, whatever. But now when there's a lull in the conversation, if you're in a group of people, someone will pick up their phone. And when they want to hop back into the conversation, they do. And then when somebody else is bored, they go and they look at their phone. And then someone goes, oh my gosh, did I show you this picture of me when I was, in Bermuda? And everyone's like, oh, wow. It just continues. It never stops. There's never not a way to access more information. You can stay stimulated longer. Where a dinner conversation used to die out.
Life is changing. It literally is changing in front of our eyes. All right, Chris, who we got here with us?
We have Mr. Rory Albanese. He's performing next Wednesday, October 5th at Caroline's Comedy Club in New York City. Go to carolines.com for tickets. And on Twitter, it's at Rory Albanese.
And Rory is known from?
He was the executive producer of The Daily Show, The Nightly Show, writer for both shows as well.
Rory Albanese is in with us. He is a little concerned because he's a TV guy. He's on TV time where 10 minutes is a big deal.
Yeah, it is.
This is satellite radio where it doesn't matter, my friend.
Wow, that's such a cool way to live.
Yes, we live in a chill lifestyle. People come in, people go out. We're not sitting there 1 o'clock down to the second like you people live your lives.
Oh, my God, what a dream. Which office can I take?
Well, you'll be sharing. That's the
that's
problem.
Fine. I don't mind. I don't even need an office. I'll just sit in the hallway. That's fine.
You, despite all the things that you've done in television, stay with the stand-up.
Yeah, because the stand-up is the thing that I really always wanted to do. It's funny. I sort of justified my desire to do comedy by, I grew up like a Long Island, like my dad's an Italian guy. Like I grew up for like real working class, like people who work. Like I wasn't the kind of person who you can come home. Me and my brother were the first two to go away to college. So I wasn't really in a house where you could go off to college, come home and go, you know what I'm going to do now is tell jokes. My dad was like, why don't you become an electrician? You know what I mean? Like head to toe benefits, that kind of a thing. So, Bennies, you need Bennies. Even now, I mean, and so I got a job at The Daily Show, before anyone even knew what The Daily Show was. I was a production assistant, and, it just sort of seemed comedy. It sort of sees stand-up adjacent, you know what I'm saying? And somewhere in my head, I think I thought that if I was there for 6 months or 8 months or a year, they'd go, this guy's funny, I'd become a writer. That did not happen.
No.
I was there 14 years. I did every crappy production job there is. I was the tape librarian. I mean, you name it, I did it. I was in the trenches at that show for a long time. The outlet then for me became the stand-up. So I sort of was able to justify it a little bit. I had a paycheck. At some point I did get health insurance after a few years on basic cable. But so it was, so I sort of did all that stuff. And then along the way doing that, like I became friends with Louis Black because I was the guy who got the footage for his segment. Louis's segment used to just be, I would go in a room with two writers, Louis and this producer, Hank Gallo. And people smoked in the building, by the way. Like, it was like Mad Men.
Humans.
Like humans. Exactly. And I would sit in this tiny office and they'd all be smoking and I'd be playing footage. And every now and then I'd say, I thought this was funny. And the writers would be like, shut up, maggot, And Louis would be like, no, you shut up. That is funny. And he started sort of acknowledging that my ideas were good. And then way too early, he took me out on the road to do stand-up with him, just sort of to bomb and to prove to me that if after bombing as hard as I did for Lou, I still wanted to do stand-up.
Yeah, no kidding, because you're out on the road with somebody who's really unbelievable.
Yeah.
I mean, his you know, we talk about this. There's nothing funnier than a person, Gail, that when they're serious, you're laughing your ass off. And Lou has that, you know?
he does.
Where he's like really upset about something.
Yeah, because then you know that person can't help but be funny.
Yeah.
Like even when they don't want to be funny, they are a funny person.
And he's one of the sweetest men in the world, but there are times where he's telling me a story, and it's not for his act.
Yeah.
And I'm saying, are you not doing this 15-minute story? And he told me a story a couple of years ago. We were in, because I will occasionally go out with him. His opener that he uses can't go to Canada for legal reasons.
Sure.
And so when he does gigs like that, I'll go with him. And I did get to a point with Lewis on the road where I got good, you know, so he was using me and actually offered me the job at one point, but I stayed at the Daily Show because at that moment it seemed like my trajectory there was, you know, getting better. And then over, like I said, I was there 14 years. I ended up being the executive producer, but that took a long time. The first 8 or 9 years was really like I was in the stacks, you know. But Lou will tell you a story. I mean, he told me one about trying to get from Buffalo to Canada, and he didn't want to fly because it was so close, and then he doesn't like to drive because it's Lewis, and like, can you imagine him behind the wheel of a vehicle? I mean, that's his answer. He's like, you can't see it. You don't want me to drive. And so he took a bus. Like, he took like a Greyhound bus to Canada, and this was like 2 years ago. And it was him at his level of fame, and, you know, I would say he usually travels by bus, but it's his own bus, like Willie Nelson.
Yeah.
So now he's like sitting next to a lady, like holding a chicken on a Greyhound bus, you know? And it was like a 7-hour ride to Canada, and he was like 30 minutes away. And I was like, how are you not telling that story? And then he's like, oh yeah, maybe I'll try it. And then he goes out in front of 3,000 people and tells it, and it's like, and it crushes, you know? He doesn't even have to write. He just says things.
Yeah, I always find that it's funny too when people get to a certain place in their life that they talk in their stage cadence after a while, you know, where they have that rhythm down.
Yeah, I think a lot of stand-up is trying as hard as you can to be who you are. I mean, obviously you're a heightened version. You don't want to be performing. You know, you don't want to be the guy at breakfast who's like, hey, what's going on with eggs? You know? Yeah, we get it, dude. We were all out last night. You're like, out, I'll tell you about out. But you don't want to be that guy. But at the same time, you want to be able to take the thing that, you know, you want to be yourself, and you want to be true, and you want to be honest. And it's hard. Being honest on stage is hard. The best comics, like you said, Lou, but Bill Burr, you know, Louis, all these guys, like, they're so honest about who they are and what they go through.
You want to be some version of the way you were with your friends.
Yeah.
And why that is hard to do, but it really is. To go from that way with your friends, where your friends are like, you're so funny, and then you go on stage and like, did you ever notice that?
Yeah.
You know, you start acting like the comedian that you like, or just what you think of as comedian man from TV.
That's even funnier, is like when it's not even like purposefully trying to do an impression of someone. It's just like, I didn't know that was just going to come out. I'm just going to pretend to be that other comedian. Why?
And it takes years to melt that away. Yeah. Because I think what it is when you're around your friends and you're funny, you feel like they've already accepted you and like you.
Yeah.
And when you start doing it, you think the thing you're trying to do is get everyone in that room to like you.
Right.
But it's almost what makes them like you is you being yourself.
You being yourself. They know.
You can tell somebody that right out of the gate and start. Yeah. But there's something, it takes, you're so right. You get on stage, and right when you start doing it, and you're like performing in a way that you shouldn't be, you know? That used to happen when we would I would go out for the Daily Show when we would do auditions for people looking for correspondence, and I'd sit in a room with them, and they'd come in and they'd be so funny and they'd be so natural and so cool. Be like, all right, let's get to it. Read the thing. And they'd be like, great. And they'd be like, hey, how are you? And you're like, why? What happened to your voice? You know, why are you doing a weird newsman voice? You know, and it was like, because in their head, this was a character who was a news person. And, you know, what John was so adamant about all those years on the Daily Show is he really wanted people to be themselves. He just wanted that person to be on, you know.
Well, and what an eye that show had for talent, because in that last show where he was bringing out literally TV star after TV star after movie star of all these people who had been on that show. And almost every one of them, I thought to myself when they left, I'm like, stupidest move you could have ever done. I used to say it about every, and then they go on and have a hit show. Yeah. And I'd always go, don't fucking let go of this. I know. You got the best gig on TV.
I know, it's amazing. It's funny because the guys I ended up, oddly, like I said, started there as a PA, and I remember the first thing I did was the summer of July of 99, and I was helping. I wasn't doing. I was just sort of like wrangling and getting props and things for a shoot on the roof of the building. And it was Steve Colbert and Steve Carell in a kiddie pool. Like it was like a summer spectacular special. I remember watching these two grown men splash around in a kiddie pool and say stupid stuff. And I was going, how are these two guys not the most famous comedians? I was 22 years old and I was crying. And I was saying, why doesn't anybody know about these two guys? I couldn't. And Carell in particular, I mean, Colbert we all sort of knew, but Carell in particular was doing things on that show on a day-to-day basis. And I'm going, how is this? Because, SNL, and even now still, in my opinion, SNL is the best. It's the pinnacle of all comedy. And Lorne Michaels has somehow cultivated that for 40-plus years. It's like, he's the god of all gods in my mind of comedy and talent. But Carell was a part of that system, but never ended up on the show for whatever reason, And when we ended up with him on the Daily Show, I feel like, say with Colbert, Colbert was too. He used to share an office with Farley back in the day. Like those guys are out of the SNL.
Right, they're Chicago.
World.
Yeah, Chicago guys.
But I mean, I couldn't even believe on a basic cable show the talent that was in that place. It was unreal.
Well, Tim Meadows was just bringing that up the other day when he was in here, that they were all in the 80s in Chicago, and it was like Conan and Garland and everybody who went, Tina Fey. They were all, kids together putting on these shows, and, 20, 25 years later, they've taken over
the whole industry. Yeah. And Colbert always had a great story about the Dana Carvey show, which him and Carell were on. And Colbert's joke to me always used to be, he's like, I remember I went into audition for that show and I killed it. And I walked out and I saw Carell, and they were good friends. And I saw Carell in the waiting room and goes, oh, well, I'm not getting this one. And then obviously they both got it. And that's one of those shows that I think lasted
6 weeks, and the writers on it was Louis C.K., Charlie Kaufman.
It's like the most stacked geniuses of comedy.
Could you even picture Charlie Kaufman in a writing room and handing over whatever weird thing?
What do you think?
I'm sure somewhere this works, but
and then some guy like me being like, I don't know, Kaufman. I don't think you don't have it.
Yeah. I can't imagine how many times in his life that he's turned in shit that they just went, oh, you're insane. Yeah. You're insane. And then that's the most genius stuff.
Yep.
And will be considered genius stuff 2-3 generations.
Agreed.
From now.
Rory Albanese is in studio.
Oh.
He's performing next Wednesday, October 5th at Caroline's Comedy Club in New York City. Go to carolines.com for tickets, and on Twitter it's at Rory Albanese.
So, are you keeping up with the debates, or you're like...
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's funny because the nightly show, which was the last thing I did, and will be the last thing I do, I think, for a little while, because TV is, as you saw how stressed I was when I got here, a little exhausting. But we were knee deep in it, like we were really enjoying doing the nightly show. For me, was really special because I got to run it. Jon Stewart called me to do that show. And he said, you want to run this new show? And I had left the Daily Show in 2013. It was out doing stand up. And I said, no, I don't want to do that. I said, I was like on the road. I was in bed eating a sandwich, I think, maybe there was a waitress from the night before they were eating a sandwich with me. I don't remember. But my point was, I was like, why would I go back? And he said, well, it's Larry Wilmore. I go, I love Larry, and you can be on it, So I got this opportunity to be on the show, which was huge for me because now when I go out on the road, sometimes people actually show up, which is nice. But we were so in it. We were so deep in it. And, I get Comedy Central canceled it because of ratings and all that stuff, but they canceled it so abruptly that I thought we would at least go through the election coverage-wise. So I'm still sort of addicted to it. I mean, it's hard not to be this election because of the fact that nobody, and, I've covered enough of these with The Daily Show that I can't remember one, even as a kid, where nobody liked either of the candidates.
Right.
It's one of the oddest. It's one of the oddest elections I can possibly imagine. It's just sort of this, and I travel and I ask people, I'll say, oh boy, you guys, big Trump people, and everyone boos, and I go, oh, I guess you love Hillary. And they're like, oh, she's the devil. And I'm like, well, then what?
Well, last night was great.
It's crazy.
They said, like, hey, for any other candidate, Trump would have killed himself last night by not being prepared for a debate, by showing up for a debate and not being prepared. And Hillary was prepared, but it doesn't necessarily mean people are going to go to her.
Yeah, I was noticing, because I was reading Twitter comment sections, right-wing places, left-wing places, just to try to see how people were responding to it. And the people who were feeling like they're like, oh no, I didn't like what Clinton did last night. What they kept bringing up over and over is I kept seeing this thing of like over-prepared or
Isn't that
scripted.
so funny?
And I was like, well, what you're saying is he was unprepared and I don't like her. That's really what that is.
That
it's
is
like,
one of the weirdest negatives of a person who's in this whole, listen, I get why Hillary Clinton, I think part of her problem is she's been around too long.
Sure.
Like she's one of those musicians who keeps releasing tunes and you're like, all right, Meatloaf, like we get it. You know what I mean? Like, and, but this idea that one of the things that turns people off is she's over prepared, and that's a very important component to being the president. You want someone who reads and prepares and things. People are like, well, she's too calculated. Yes, but calculated decision making is what makes people good at their job. It's so odd. It's a very good attribute.
Right. Yeah, this is not a road trip where someone I can't believe I'm with this stiff.
Yeah.
This is the president.
That's exactly right. It's not a road trip.
That's really
what she never wants to just go to the biggest ball of yarn when we're 100. It's like,
but that's really simply about unlikability. That means I would rather vote for somebody who is less qualified because I dislike this person so much. That's all that means.
Trump last night, I mean, I went directly to Fox after, and they were kind of blown away that he didn't go a million different places.
Yeah, I saw that.
Trump went out like me in high school when I had to do something, and I just tried to bullshit my way through it because I didn't read the book. I didn't fucking know. And they go, why didn't he go there? And they were like, yeah, because he didn't think about this before. Yeah. I mean, the confidence that guy has is amazing.
It's incredible.
I wish I could do an eyedropper of that.
just for a weekend. For a weekend. I know. Me too. Yeah.
If you read his Twitter this morning, he was like, this is great. Everybody said that I did really well and that I won the debate. So this is awesome. And it's like, oh, if you just say that, and you just put that out there, that's truth for you. Like, that's just how he lives.
It's the book, The Secret. It does work for one person.
Yeah,
you're
Donald Trump.
It does. That's exactly what it's like he read that book too many times. It's the one book he read a lot. I think that, and I get why people don't like Hillary. I think the problem with the country right now is there's this weird, it's so divisive now that most people, myself included, would vote Republican or Democrat based on whoever the best person was. I don't want to say most people, but a lot of people would. It never seemed like that was such an extreme thing to do, to be like, well, I'm a registered Democrat, but this year or this election, it seems like the Republicans are making more sense, or is what the country needs. But it's become now where it's almost like religion. Like, if you're a Democrat, you have to believe everything the Democrat. You can't be okay with the Second Amendment. You're a Democrat. And it's like, why? Why can't I be okay with, pro-choice and pro-Second Amendment? Why can't those two? And Trump has really sort of tapped into this anger that is out there, I think, towards the left. And I'm not lying, like, he could easily win this election. And the reason is because it kind of doesn't matter. Like, the debates don't matter. If he's prepared, if he's unprepared, it kind of doesn't matter. It's interesting,
Well, the thing is, if you this time, I think when your guy is not elected, your life is better because you feel superior in your life. You know, when you vote for the president who doesn't work out, it really sucks. But when you're like, hey, I was against that person, you feel fucking great.
You're
you
right.
feel so smart.
Not my guy.
My guy. And you're like, I hope you're fucking happy with your president. Because he is definitely, I mean, even the people that are voting for him know that he's going to do some nutty things. Yeah. I mean, he couldn't explain how he was going to bring jobs back. He just said, I'm going to do it. Mm-hmm. And for some people, that's enough. Like, he's going to do. Last night, he seems like he likes every country but ours. Yep. Dubai, did you see their airport? Mexico's got the best. Like, would you want to live in fucking Dubai?
He actually said China's the best. He said that China's the best. And it's like, this is the thing that I don't understand, too. There's all these people in the country that tell you love it or leave it. Yeah. But whenever they don't love it, they always stay. Right. They never take their own advice.
Well, I said this, if Trump is elected, I'm leaving the county. And I'm serious about that.
That's a bold move.
Yeah, I might go to Westchester. Could be North Jersey, though.
Yeah.
Definitely
that's
not
powerful
Queens.
move, yeah.
Don't want to go to Queens, though.
Rory Albanese is in studio. Rory's performing next Wednesday, October 5th at Caroline's Comedy Club in New York City. Go to carolines.com for tickets, more information. And on Twitter, it's at Rory Albanese.
Now, you said, we're talking about how great Larry is. Larry came in here one day, slayed us, and we just found him to be the coolest guy.
He's the coolest guy.
What happened with the TV show? Why didn't America feel the way the people who met him?
I think that listen, late night takes a while to go. I mean, if you look back at Conan, and to me, Conan in late night, I mean, I loved Letterman growing up, but when Conan took over, he took over. Late night used to be this thing that like was like a special. It's hard to explain it to like people I think who like pre-internet. Like when you watched late night TV, I mean like Letterman back in the day when he was wearing Velcro suits, or Conan when he had Pimp Bot and all that crazy stuff going on NBC. It felt like they weren't supposed to be doing that stuff on TV. And when you watched it, you watched like a secret thing, and then you'd go to school or work or whatever the next day and be like, did you see that? You know, the nightly, but there was something about that time slot that was like, you can sort of play and get away with it. The nightly show was on. We were on at 11:30. So the guy we took over for, Stephen Colbert, wasn't off TV. He just went up the street and was doing a show. Fallon's killing it. So now we're competing at the hardest late night. The Daily Show's on at 11. So there's a pre-big, you know, it's before the big shows start. It's like it's an appetizer into those shows. So we're on 11:30. So all the people that were already watching Stephen just went with Stephen, which is fine, as they should. He's great. Building a new audience from scratch is difficult, and we started to. And let me go back to the most honest answer. When the show started, it wasn't very good. So that's the truth, as is with most late night. It wasn't really a very good show. That's when people were watching it. It became a good show. But once it became a good show, people already made their opinions or sort of their decisions about not watching it. And since Jon Stewart was no longer a lead-in, it sort of secretly became a really funny, cool little show, and no one knew about it. So, you know, I was hoping Comedy Central could have gone two ways with it. They could have said, all right, the show has come around and is funny, and they acknowledged that. The president of the network came and watched. They loved what we were doing. We had contributors. We were doing a lot of silly little things. So they had two ways they could have gone, in my opinion. They could have gone with the, let's relaunch it. Let's let people know this is a different show. Let's let people know that this show is now special and has a thing. Or they could just kill it and cut their losses. And they went with number two. I mean, I think it took us too long to get funny, as funny as it did. It was always funny, and Larry was always good. But, you know, you're giving somebody, he'd never hosted a talk show. So like you just said, like, now Larry's been a performer for a long time, but for the last 10, 15 years, he's really been focused as a behind-the-scenes writer, producer of some very good sitcoms on television. So for him to just throw on a suit and become an instant late-night talk show host, that takes a little while. And I think the network gave us the time, but instead of giving us the time, and then when he sort of got his rhythm, and we all got a rhythm, myself included as a performer and the producer figuring out exactly what the show was, they sort of said, well, the numbers aren't there. And we go, well, now you got to remind people we're on. You got to like put out some ads. You got to maybe do a promo campaign. And I think for them, they were like, with Trevor hosting the Daily Show, I think in their head they were going, well, that's another thing we have to sort of reintroduce everybody to. How many new late night shows are we going to be reintroducing ourselves to? I don't think it helped us that like we were trying to be a black culture show. We were trying to be a late night show that was different. We were really focusing on we had the most diverse staff in the history of late night inside the show. On camera, we had 3 African-American women. I used to call Comedy Central and say, why is there not one article that we have 3 African-American women on late night almost 2-3 nights a week on our TV show? We have a Latina woman, a Latino man, Mike Yard, black guy. I was the token white guy. That's what John told me I'd be on the show. So it was odd. They didn't promote it the way I thought they could have. And I think part of it was they felt like we had our year to sort of impress people. We didn't. And now we're a year and a half in, and it's funny, but cut their losses. So it is what it is, but it didn't help that Trevor came on, and now all of a sudden, now there's a younger black dude before the other black dude on the late night. And then all of a sudden you got, now he's talking about racial stuff. So it's like, well, wait, the Daily Show used to be politics and we were going to do like cultural, social stuff, but that's not Trevor's interest. So now, but so there was no like, and it's a word I would never use, but I'm going to, which is synergy. There was, in other words, we never sat down. There was no conversation. Well, if Trevor's going to take over, what's that mean? And what's that? And then how? So it just was it got funky, and we never had the audience. We didn't have the numbers. So when you don't have ratings, you can't really argue. There's nothing you can say. You can't go, well, no, but it's funny. They're like, yeah, but guess what? We need money.
and like you said, the fact that and they just let these other hosts go off and start other new shows really in the old Daily Show.
Yep.
I mean, what John Oliver's doing would have been perfect to follow. And they just let him go right before. I think Trevor is fantastic.
So do I.
But that show might be the weirdest place to have stuck him into.
Because it's not the Daily Show as it once. So, look, I think the reason it all went the way it went is, when push comes to shove, my honest answer is, there's too many late night shows now anyway.
Oh, there's so many.
And it's so flooded. And when you're doing a show, we were only doing 4 a week, but that's a lot. And what I learned this time around, which is so different from what the Daily Show was when I was there and it was really in its peak, is what made the Daily Show special at the time it was the speed at which we were reacting to things. So in other words, we'd watch the debates last night and then the next day we'd be crushing the debates and everyone couldn't wait. But now you just go on Twitter. Like, the jokes are there. They're all there. And I don't even just the words. I mean, mock-ups, graphics. People made, I sent a tweet last night. I go, the Daily Show better do a Trump sniffling montage, because he was the whole thing. Somebody linked me to somebody who cut it on their laptop at like, and it was the best example of this. Right before the nightly show got canceled, that guy was climbing up Trump Tower with suction cups. And I walked out of we were doing a rewrite for that night show, and I walked out like, oh man, this guy's climbing a building with suction cups. So that would be the kind of thing at 6:00 we're about to tape, and that was happening right about then. So that would be the kind of thing in late night that would be on the next night show as a little top of show joke. So I threw a one-off joke to one of the researchers who was watching, and I said, I was like, oh man, what is he climbing up Michael Phelps' back? Because like a stupid, almost inside, you don't even want to say it on TV, but you could write it right for late night, like, because all the suction cupping was happening. It was during the Olympics. So a perfect mock-up for late night is you turn that building into a back. Michael Phelps, can we zoom out on that building? And the guy stuck to Michael Phelps. It's a perfect little late night, quick top of show joke. I went back into the rewrite room after I saw that. Opened up my phone, looked at Twitter. 5 people had made that mock-up as good as a graphics artist at our show basically could have made.
Yeah.
So what is the point? Like, in other words, in 24 hours, we're going to now do that suction cup, Michael. It's just moving at a speed. The Daily Show, I feel like, used to be, and probably pissed off the guys at SNL who were doing the news, go, man, these guys are getting it at, 5 days before we are. Now it's like, you're reacting to stuff. That's why Oliver, I think, and Sam B, like, that's the way to do it now. To me, it's like, you can't compete in speed, but you can compete in quality. And what Oliver does, and to me, personally speaking, I know John Oliver and I know Tim Carvel, who's executive producer. Those guys are so brilliant. They're going to dominate that arena for quite some time. Like, you better come prepared if you want to compete with those guys.
They're going to go really deep, and he's going hard every second. Every second he's just throwing. So you're like, I just watched 20 some minutes, and I saw 115 jokes.
And it's like, to me, it's like the Matrix. When they stick that thing in the back of your neck, it's like, you better be ready.
Yeah.
Because it's a lot coming at you. But that to me is going to be the new show to copy and the new format to be chasing, because it means more when you can, you can get hit with a lot of noise anywhere now, but he's going, I'm going to take this one thing and I'm going to build a case, and I'm going to make that case so complete and so powerful. I mean, that thing he did on Trump, the Trump thing, and that, I can't think of one thing better that was said about Trump or done about Trump ever, or even about a politician by anyone in late night. Like, that was as complete and perfect as an essay could be, So there was always a part of me while we were doing it that was going, like, I'd watch Oliver and go, what are we doing? Like, this guy is he's operating on a higher level now. And that's good. I'm happy for him. I love the guy. But, so I think there's a part of it too for Comedy Central where it's like these late night shows are expensive. And who are we competing with? The nightly show is never going to compete with Fallon. It's just not going to happen. And that's the time slot it was in. So, it goes how it goes. I felt bad. The people I felt really bad. For me, actually, it was timing wise. I wanted to go on the road. I really wanted to do an hour of stand up. There's 100 people there though that I felt bad for, because we had an amazing staff of people, and I mean this, amazing staff of people who are still, some of them have found jobs, some are still looking. I'm trying to help people as best I can. So anyone out there looking to hire really good producers or writers, let me know. But, so I feel bad for those people, because and our crew, I mean, we have like our camera guys, our entire crew, anyone who heard, if you work in TV, about the camera guys and stuff we had working on a show, they're like, how the hell did you get those guys? Like, we had that level of legend on our show, of in the business. So it was a really special thing. And I think for everyone who worked there, we all have like kind of a little special bond. It was a year and a half. It happened. It was cool. I'll always remember it as a great experience for myself. I got to build a show from scratch, but, it is what it is. We'll all reunite some other time in some other show.
Well, like you said, though, there's so many shows now, and now so many platforms, and the easiest thing to do is, talk. You know what I mean? Like, people can understand it. Like, if you're in a board meeting, they'll go, okay, so we'll put the couch out there, we'll just shoot it. That's a lot easier than if Louis C.K. has a new idea and you're going to go shoot a show about Pamela Adlon. I'm sure those shows, even with his success, have to be sold over and over and over. But if you were to say, Kevin Hart, talk show, everybody would say yes. Tomorrow. They would get it. Like, oh, give me a star. Give me that format. I was watching like what Harry is doing at 4:00. The Stengel brothers are producing his show, and you see like people trying to tweak with the talk show format, the afternoon show, and you see how that's so much harder to do. Than to not just do the exact show Merv Griffin did. And
it's weird too, because that format works, but it's also hard, because what you start to realize is the people that networks are chasing, these young people, they don't think of TV the way we think of TV. It's just different. Like, my girlfriend, I mean, she's not 18 and she's 32, but it's like, I'll hear her laughing, and she's looking at her phone, and she's just looking at memes, you know? And she's like, check this out. It says like da-da-da, and it's a guy with his head in the thing. I'm like, I hate you. You know what I'm saying?
Can I tell you something?
Like, I hate everything about what you're doing right now.
I hate all that, and we got stuck watching these sites. Just play one
But they are funny.
Yeah, this thing
That's
today,
why I'm resentful towards them.
I really could not believe, because Gail, you brought it in, and you're like, oh, this is hilarious. I'm like, I know it's not. And then I'm copying it within a sec. Just play like, you don't have to go to one we've seen already. So kids are doing this all over the country at the same time.
All right.
My name's Taya Lee. I don't know what I like, so I pop my pussy severely for boys and girls. Hi, my name's Jacob Santos, and I did the 10th grade more times than a lighter gets stolen in a puff-puff pass circle. Hi, my name's Elijah, and I'm so obsessed with football I dyed my hair just like Odell Beckham. Hi, my name's Diana, and I'm white as hell. I look like a piece of paper, but I still try to act as black as my shirt. Hi, Hi, my name is Madison Rowley, and I switched into fashion design last year because all the dudes in carpentry kept staring at my big old butt. Hi, my name's Raquel, and I'm as straight as my teeth. Hi, my name's Carol, and my box braids make me look like the female version of Future. Purple rain, purple.
I would be doing this constantly if I was a kid.
All day. All day.
All day long.
Yeah.
And for some reason, I think, to me, that's as good as any play that they ever put on in school when I was a kid.
Absolutely.
You're getting more creativity. Well,
Right.
that's the other thing is like that creativity is kind of in the hands of everyone now, and like, the ability, like you were saying, you check out Twitter during the debate, and you're seeing things done at a level that could be anyway. I have a friend who works for BuzzFeed, and so he's editing video in the moment, and that's not saved for tomorrow when they want to put it out as an article on BuzzFeed. It's just is what it is.
Or a listicle.
Or a listicle,
yeah.
It just is what it is. So he's, kind of doing fact checking, but like editing like video right there.
Every
and then
kid
that's
edits
done.
video.
Yeah.
That was a big thing when I was younger. Someone who was an editor.
Kidding me?
Yeah, they had a relative that was an editor.
Yeah, you had, and they would sit in a room and like hold film up to the light and be like 4 more frames. I mean, the stuff you could do on your phone. It's and that's why people ask me a lot about TV. They'll say, "What do you think? Like, what's the best approach? I have this idea for a TV show or it's a cooking show." And I don't mean just people I know. I mean on Twitter, and I go on the road. People, and I'm always happy to talk to people because I get that they have this desire to do this thing. But I always say there's no excuse to go into a room to pitch a show and not have something shot. There's just no excuse. Like, what is your phone has HD video on it. So you can give people a 3-minute sense of what you're talking about much easier. If you have an idea for a cooking show and you want to go pitch it, like you better have a little something of you in your kitchen doing something. Cause this was the thing I ran into with Comedy Central, and I'd done a lot of work for them for years. I was at the Daily Show for years. I'd done a half-hour special for them as a stand-up. When I was trying to get on my contract settled for the nightly show, and John wanted me on the show. Jon Stewart said I want him on the show. My agents were trying to get in the contract saying like how often I can be on the show, and Comedy Central's answer was, "We don't even know if he can be on TV, so we're not going to tell you how often he can be." And I went, "That's fair." And I said, "Don't just let it go. I'll get on, and then they'll see I can do it." But that's what I wrote. I'm like, yeah, you have to show people. You can't just walk in and be like, "Look, you want to do a cooking show with this guy." Right. It's like, why? Why do I want to do a cooking show with you? You're neither a chef nor famous. What are you bringing to the table? You know, like that apple strudel better be damn good if you want me to. So you have to be able to show them, and that to me the biggest takeaway I got. That changed for me after the nightly show was now I have a reel. I have a long reel that I put up on Vimeo of me being on TV. So I don't have to justify to people I can do it anymore. So you have to be able to bring them something. And to me, this is this generation of kids doing this stuff, but you go one level up and you go to someone who's like 22, 23 and actually has, time and isn't just a student. And some of the stuff that people are putting out there is really good and really funny. And I think I'm not worried about it in the sense of, oh no, now you're competing with everybody. I look at it as the best stuff sort of always wins, but the guys who are on, I can't even think of his name right now. And I can't believe it, but from SNL, Lonely Island, those guys. Yeah. Those guys were like, that's what they were doing.
They were fucking around.
Yeah, they were fucking around. They were making really good stuff. And now they're rightfully so, who they are. And I think that for anyone now looking to get into this game, and I think almost too many people are, that's the only way to do it, is these little videos. And this stuff is more kids pranking each other. But I've had people send me stuff. I'm like, this is really good. You shot this on your phone. It's pretty amazing. So.
Well, we had a buddy on your show with Larry,
Ricky Velez,
and
I love Ricky.
Ricky was doing like Subway jokes in a club like the day before. You know what I mean? He was just being like the Latin kid on it, and we're like, oh man, this kid's fucking funny. Let's keep an eye on him. And then the next day, He's like, hey, I'm on this show. And I'm like,
show.
you're fucking kidding me.
Yeah.
And his confidence level that he slid in to that show was amazing.
Ricky's like my little brother, except I learned from him, you know?
Yeah.
He actually, I think he's going to do me a favor, hopefully, and feature for me at Caroline's just as a favor. But, he's so talented as a stand-up, and it's for the reasons we were talking about earlier. He's not scared, and he's got this confidence, and he says things on stage, and he lets them sit there. We were looking for people to be on the show when we went to a showcase at Caroline's, Larry and I, and we saw Ricky come out, and man, we were just blown away, because it's the hardest thing about stand-up, especially in the beginning, and Ricky's young, he's like 26, is to let it be quiet for a minute. Yeah. I remember when I first started, I used to challenge myself, I'm going to drink water on stage tonight. I'm going to take a sip of water, because when I'm drinking water, no one's laughing, you know? Yeah. And that's hard to do. Ricky will just lay something out there and just stare at you and let it just simmer, you know? And I can't believe how good he is at his age. And I constantly tell him that I'm angry and jealous, because he's just very good. And he has that swagger, man. Like you can't.
Old school New York. He's like literally
old school New York.
That early 80s, New York, where are you going to get on that train, really? Yeah. And he's on there just hanging around.
Exactly right.
And like he was in with us one day, and he's like, I think it was his dad. My dad made all the Ramones shirts. Like he is so old school New York that he could go, but my dad was hanging out at CBGB's and just, was...
No, his dad's one of those dudes. His dad is so cool, and his dad, I've met his dad a couple of times, and he always says some things to me. He's like, why don't you guys stop being such pussies about it? I'm like, I love your dad, dude. He's like a man, he's not like, he's just says stuff as it is. Right. That's why Ricky's like that. He's got this, demeanor, because he grew up in Queens. He's a tough kid.
Sure.
He didn't have, but at the same time, he went to a dramatic, he went to the Tony Bennett School of the Arts or something. And
in Queens, right?
In Queens,
And that's the weirdest thing, because those kids are in there, and then Tony Bennett will be like, I wanted to bring my friend Billy Joel in. You know what I mean? The kids are like, yay. And that shit really happens, in the Fame movie.
I know.
I remember seeing that movie when I was a kid, and oh, what a fictional piece of work this is.
No, but it's real.
Yeah.
And what did he tell me? He said something like, they wanted to name this school after Tony Bennett, but Tony Bennett wanted to name it after Frank Sinatra.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Because he's like, I'm only Tony Bennett. It should be named after Frank. It's like, Jesus Christ, man, you're still Tony Bennett. There's a lot of things named after Sinatra.
Hey, kids, this is Christopher Walken, and he's going to do some scenes.
Exactly. That's exactly what it is. Yeah, he's doing that's exactly what those schools are. They bring in the best people.
Well, dude, thanks so much for stopping in, man.
No, thank you guys so much for having me. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, anytime now that you know where we're at.
Yeah, don't say that. I'll just show up.
Yeah.
Rory Albanese has been in the studio. He's performing next Wednesday, October 5th at Caroline's Comedy Club in New York City at 7:30. Go to carolines.com for tickets, and on Twitter, it's at Rory Albanese.
And thanks to Pamela Adlon for stopping in today, too. Love her new show, Better Things. And that's it for us. We'll see you again in 1974.
Ladies and gentlemen, the evening is over. We hope you all enjoyed yourselves, and we'll see you all again in 1974. Good evening!